Good evening, fellow rollers. For if you have journeyed with us thus far, you are surely a roller by now, or holy, or maybe a little of both. Who knows? Welcome to Holy Rollerz, the 4th edition D&D game where all of the characters can channel divinity and serving the gods is totes in fashion. We are very excited to be with you here tonight for our season finale. We are doing our finale. It's 31 episodes as of tonight in the can. How do y'all feel about that?
It seems like more than I thought it would be. Like, it doesn't feel like 31 episodes.
Are you saying that time flies in such good company? Is that what you're saying? With such a good DM? Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Then why did you roll your eyes, huh?
I'm just wondering how you're going to...
No, I just want to know. Why you rolled your... Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway.
Time flies.
Okay. We would like to welcome our cast and also our special guest star, Miss Lulu Study Blogger, who will again be playing Lavender, Paladin Scion of Vahara, goddess of good magic and reason. Lulu, Mrs. Waterford cut you with a razor last time, and she tried to poison you. How is Lavender feeling about that?
Oh, she loves that. It's not great.
Okay. So it's kind of like
stabby kind of way, like a...
Yeah.
And the GM called you Aelin twice.
Yes.
I know, that's actually probably the most offensive part. She's like, honestly, I've been stabbed before, but no one's ever looked at me right in the face and gone, you look like a tiefling.
Welcome to Holy Rollerz. And because of that, Lavender has advantage on her very next attack roll. She gets greater advantage, 2 rolls on her next attack roll because... I made the mistake of calling her Aelin, which will not happen much tonight. I can't promise it won't happen at all. I'm old. Okay, so now for a brief recap. Last time on Holy Rollerz, the party returned to Night Lord Deckard Gable to make plans for arresting Mrs. Waterford and the Faith of Man. They found the Night Lord arguing with his daughter Sabella Gable, who announced her intention to become a priestess of some deity or other. She didn't quite know. She just wanted to do it. And so meanwhile, across town, Mrs. Waterford, ambassador of the Faith of Man, had a meeting with Lavender, psionic paladin priestess of Vahara, and asked her to mediate with Night Lord Gable and the clerics. However, Lavender soon determined that Mrs. Waterford only meant to use her to declare martial law. When that didn't work, the Faith of Man attacked, and their followers overwhelmed the Night Lord. Shortly after the combat began, the curtain fell from a familiar gilded mirror in the room, and it spawned a vortex that dragged everyone in the room through it and into another plane of existence. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where we shall be beginning with this evening. So, lots of exciting things going on. First, I will do a brief description. So, you are pulled, all of you, and that includes you, Morocon. You are pulled so violently through the air that you fear your limbs will break as the chairs and furniture of the room shatter as they collide with the wall, the mirror frame, and each other. Somehow, the face of the mirror seems to expand as it pulls the whole of the room into it. And when you alight, you find yourselves in a beautiful garden of soft grass with some trees that look like weeping willows and others that look like apple trees holding gold and silver fruit. A warm, pleasant sun shines down on you, but the picture in the distance is another matter. Several miles beyond the garden you are in, a pristine gray tower looms from atop a large hill like a giant sword driven into the earth. Beyond the tower is an endless, teeming jungle that goes on forever, over which hangs ominous grayish-green clouds that crackle with red lightning. Protruding from the jungle randomly are numerous cracked, leaning towers that appear as though the jungle will soon swallow them. The garden is like a placid oasis in the middle of a plain of overwhelming, untamed nature. And that is the scene before you. It's a little overwhelming. And those towers and that jungle are all around you. The garden is just kind of a wee little spot that you are sitting in that seems to be pleasant amidst all of this violent nature. Now let's find out where in the garden you landed. Would like everybody to roll 2 die 10, please, and then I will tell you where you land.
Come on, big numbers. Unless big numbers are bad, then come on, low numbers. 7 total?
You got a 7 total. All right. And Duriel, you land in square 7E. Right next to one of those trees with the gold and silver fruit. Lachlan.
6.
6. Lachlan, you land in square 6R. Unfortunately, Lachlan, that places you in a tree. Lachlan, you fly and get caught and stuck in one of these weeping willow trees. Moralcon.
15.
Moralcon, you land in square 15D. Right in the middle or on the left side of the field. Lavender?
7 as well.
7 as well. Lavender, you land in square 7D right next to Anduriel.
Oh, let's be friends.
Frenzies. Okay, Gizik.
You want to kill Miss Lavender?
9.
Or Miss Waterford. We're
Okay,
friends.
Gizik, you land in 9K close to the river. Now, the Faith of Man. Mrs. Waterford lands in square 17I, right next in the very middle of this garden, right next to one of those trees with the gold and silver apples. Though the elf in the white robe lands in square 18E on the other side of the tree on Mrs. Waterford. Dr. Abenor Fields lands in square 12P on the other side of the stream. And Bindlesticks, the she, servant of the Piper, lands in a willow tree like Lachlan in square 16T. And I believe that's everyone. Oh, no. The Vistani. The Vistani girl lands in square 13H. Marietta is her name.
What about the Just Blades?
Yeah,
Okay.
the Night Lord.
The Night Lord and the Just Blades did not get sucked in because they weren't close enough to the room. The Night Lord actually got dragged outside. Now, there are several other people that have been dragged in here with you in various locations throughout the garden. So, but they're kind of just regular townies. One of the Just Blades did get dragged into there with you, and that Just Blade is in square Q3, all the way at the end of the garden.
He's useful.
Lachlan, you have a good view of Lachlan, of him. And Lachlan, I would like you to make a perception check to see how well you might identify which one of the Just Blades it is.
Oh, don't be.
No. Not
18.
Okay, Lachlan, you are reasonably sure that the Just Blade that happened to get dragged in here with you is Sir Wendell Pembleton from the village of Hollyville.
now some village is missing an idiot.
And he's freaking out and panicking and looking around. So as you get dragged into this majestic and serene garden and you see the jungle and the crooked towers beyond, how do your characters react to this?
Are we all prone?
You are all prone as of now.
Yeah, I'd like to get up.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to stand up and look around.
I think standing up, taking a look around, kind of trying to figure out where in the world we are.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Seems like more fairy nonsense.
See,
Is
yeah.
that what Gizik says?
Yeah.
Okay.
What
Sorry,
just
Gizik,
happened?
where
I
are
was
you?
in the hallway talking to a Vistani girl, and now I'm in the middle of what? Like a garden in the Feywild. Like, what is this?
Okay.
It may not be. I mean,
All right. The Vistani girl, Morocon, is right across from you. She's not even 6 squares away from you.
Oh,
You see
there
the
you are.
Vistani girl. She looks back at you and she says, "My name is Marietta, and this is not the Feywild. I don't think you'll be very happy when you find out where you are, Giorgio."
My name's Morocon, and your name's about to be dead.
Oh.
Okay. She just spins her knives in her hands and looks at you like, bring it.
Yeah, does Lavender recognize anything about this place, or is she just watching two people fight in a random place and is like, okay.
You, Lavender, you could make a knowledge religion check to see if you could figure out anything about this place.
I might try. It might be handy. Knowledge religion. Okay. So that's a 12 and plus 11. Yeah.
Okay. There are a lot of planes of existence that boast this kind of foliage or greenery, this much of it. You could be in the Outlands, which is kind of like an extreme nature. You could be somewhere in the Feywild, although the Vistani girl just denied it. So there's a distinct possibility that you're not.
She could be lying.
She could be lying.
Filthy liar.
Yeah. She could be a filthy liar. So anyway, Mrs. Waterford also gets up and she looks. She gets up and she looks around and she scowls and looks over at Bindlesticks up in the tree and she says, "What did you do, you buffoon?" And Bindlesticks is gotten up. He's still hanging out in the tree, looking up there. And he goes, "Do? Why, I didn't do anything. I didn't even touch the mirror. I didn't even pull the curtain off. It's your mirror. What did you do?" And she just kind of looks around and takes stock of everything around her. And then she looks back and sees that Morocon is right there with her. And that is when a shimmering light begins to gather in the very center of the garden. And that light is really, really bright. And it goes so bright that you have to look away for a minute. And then the light seems to coalesce into a figure. The figure is a tall, middle-aged man with tawny gold hair and a tawny gold Van Dyke. He has a soft halo glowing around his head of pale gold light. He wears a purple tunic with a silver brocade around it and white leggings and brown boots. And he has a very, very regal bearing about him. He looks somewhat familiar. From his shoulders are two enormous feathery white and black wings. His plumage is a little bit mottled. And he looks at all of you, and I'm assuming you're looking at him, and he says, "Welcome to the Vainglorious Garden here in the Towers of Supremacy. So nice to see you all on this side of the mirror. I was hoping to invite you here under more hospitable circumstances, but I can see that you have forced dear Mrs. Waterford's hand. I myself would have been happy to strike a deal with you on behalf of my lord. He's currently engaged, but as you've made a nuisance of yourself, I'm sure he'd make time for a meeting." He touches a silver horn at his, like a trumpet, at his belt, and he says, "Shall I alert him?"
Well, that very much depends on who he is. And who are you? And what is this place?
He says, "Forgive me. Manners. I am de Ferzerak." And he says, I am, well, a knight in the service of my lord. As I told you the first time we met, I am a knight in the service of the High One, he who rules this land, and he who will soon lay claim to your lands as well."
So is this the guy that we saw in the mirror back in the chapel, like 30 episodes ago?
This is the man that you saw in episode 2 who was pounding on the mirror begging to be released.
And we didn't.
Except that when you saw him last, you do not recall him having black and white mottled wings.
So he probably wasn't in service of his current lord at that point.
Well, he told you at that time that he was a knight cleric of the High One. And now he's telling you that he is a knight in the service of the High One.
Well, I can't speak for everyone, but I think I've had my fill of this place. So keep the trash witch, keep the little Vistani girl and the fool up in the tree. Me and my friends would like to leave now.
Okay. Mrs. Waterford looks over at you, and then she looks over at him, and she says, I don't think you'll be leaving anytime soon, undead. In fact, I think you're about to become a more permanent fixture of the land. And then she looks over at Deferzarak, and she says, all I need is a little bit of time. We had them. And he says, well, as you've all been forced here, I must say my hands are somewhat tied. I can't kill you directly, but I do think it's time for Mrs. Waterford and the Faith of Man to prove their worth. If she and the Piper's lot choose to end you all here, it's certainly not my place to stop them. You have lost control of Winterrun after all, Clary. Unless, of course, you've changed your mind about reaching an agreement. And he looks over at Anduriel. Then he looks at Lachlan up in the tree.
Can Lavender start helping Lachlan get out of the tree?
Lavender, you are all the way on the other side of the garden. You are across the small little stream.
Oh, sorry, I had the dot in the wrong place. That's fine.
But you can head over.
I'm actually content in the tree. I just want to be like sitting in the branch, you know.
Leg swing.
Yeah,
not a good idea.
It's a little party nightingale. That's lovely.
An agreement? Okay. What are you talking about, an agreement?
Well, you see, I'd be happy to make a deal with you. I'd be happy to grant you safe passage out of my lord's realm. Of course, I'm going to want a few concessions. In fact, I'll even order Mrs. Waterford and the Faith of Man to leave you be for the time being, provided that I come up with something that is advantageous to me and to my lord. You seem like a reasonable fellow, vampire. Wouldn't it be wiser to make a deal and live to fight another day?
I seem reasonable to you. You don't know me very well.
All right. Good. That all he says?
Yeah. Well, he'll say, Waterford and her ilk, they don't concern me as much as finding a way out of here with my companions. We can defeat them anytime, any day. As you said, she's lost control of Winterrun. She's lost control of everything. We just need to get out of here.
All right. She looks at you and she says, and she looks back at Deferzarak, and she says, those losses can easily be rectified once we leave your corpse here, vampire. And she looks up at Deferzarak and she says, let's dispense with this nonsense. We'll take care of them right here and right now. And then you needn't worry. Winterrun will be back within our grasp within a week. That fool Night Lord, he has no power. His authority is crumbled. And without these god lickers at his side, I doubt he'd last the week.
I'm curious, Mrs. Waterford, what was the timeline you gave him originally? Was it a week, a month, a year? Okay. Have you hit that timeline? What's to say you would hit this one? This is nonsense. What are your terms, sir?
And he says, well, my terms are quite simple. All we want is for you to leave Winterrun, to take your clerics and leave Winterrun. Leave the Adari Republic. Go anywhere you like, but do not return to the Adari Republic for at least, say, a period not to exceed 5 years. If you agree to that, then by all means, I'll send you right back through the mirror where you came. And I won't even allow the Faith of Man to harm you.
Well,
it seems like a reasonable deal, wouldn't you say?
Oh, it does.
It would seem as such.
There's so many lovely parts of Ienia. Have you been to New Tarsa? I hear the fishing is wonderful this time of year.
It is quite. Although Hamina did not send me to the Adari Republic to just turn around and leave.
But did Hamina send you, Dragonborn? Did she send you? Or was it some hierarchy to which you have decided you owe your allegiance? Seems to me there are many places you could serve your goddess. She can certainly find use for you if you've made other arrangements. She has plenty of servants. Let her send someone else.
My goddess calls and I answer. If you wouldn't mind sending us back, that would be quite convenient. Although if you would like to deal with this petulant child, Mrs. Waterford, who seems to be begging and pleading for more time.
Okay, Dr. Fields
you can deal with
up.
her as you wish.
Dr. Fields speaks up and he says, in point of fact, cleric, you are out of time. And let this farce come to an end. None of you are leaving here alive. And he looks at DeFerzerak and he says, this is nonsense. We already have an agreement.
Now, Dr. Fields, let's let Mom and Dad talk for a bit.
Oh, no.
While they're arguing, Lavender's going to start exploring, like looking at the sky and things, trying to tell if she would know what kind of magic could get us out.
Okay. I would like you to make a perception check, Lavender, since everybody else is talking and you're looking around and making observations.
Okay.
Perception.
Yep. That's a 4.
And I see you are not trained, so you get a 6. So Lavender, you start looking around, and you see that tree that you're next to, you and Anduriel, that beautiful tree.
It's great.
The one with the silver and gold fruit in it. You look at the silver and gold fruit, and it draws your gaze, and you just can't stop looking at it. You think that the fruit is actually silver and gold.
That sounds logical. Gold grows on trees, right?
Well, not in the prime, depending, unless you've enchanted it, but interestingly enough. So, DeFerzerak says, well, dear me, if you're going to come to fisticuffs, I don't believe that I can become involved, unless, of course, something tips the scales. However, that being said, I can't do anything if you decide to slug it out here, unless you'd like to make a deal. If you offer me something better than the faith of man is offering, we might come to some arrangement. Mrs. Waterford may not have achieved all of her goals, but she did almost topple Winter Run. Quite effectively, I must say.
She almost went to the dungeon. Now, I don't think I can really help you with that deal. I mean, I'd rather deal with you, I think, than Sigrun. She would not be happy if I leave Adari without stopping you.
Stopping me? I'm not in the Republic. Not yet, anyway.
No, but your High One is pulling a lot of strings in the Republic. We'd like to clip those.
That's a shame. And what of you, Bard? He looks up into the tree. He says, surely you can see the wisdom. He says, of making an arrangement rather than ending this in some kind of bloody confrontation that you may not end. For if you even defeat Mrs. Waterford and her fellows, who's to say you'll make it out of my lord's kingdom alive?
I've never been known for my wisdom.
Hey. All right. He says, are you sure, Bard? I could give you so much more than get you out of here. How would you like to be world famous? Have your music sung in every feast hall and tavern across your whole world, perhaps even in other planes. And what of you, priestess? He looks at Lavender. I know the location of items of potency and great magic power, the likes of which your church has been drooling over for centuries. Lost relics. Think about what a hero you'd be heading back to the golden towers of Vahara with, say, a piece of the rod of 7 parts.
And an agreement with someone of filth. Surely they'd ask me where I got it, and what would I say?
The truth, that you found it on another realm, in another plane of existence.
Found it without the willingness of my goddess? What joy is there in that?
There's no joy to be found with the gods, you little shit.
Wow, it's amazing. Your vocabulary is incredible. Anytime you're angered, you revert to swearing. Have you no
Okay.
other words for me?
I grow bored with this. Very well. If none of you are inclined to make a deal, then I suppose there's nothing I can do while Mrs. Waterford and her friends murder you.
Perhaps you'd be up for some entertainment.
I believe I'm about to have some.
A fight of champions.
He lifts his hands up and his wings unfurl out widely, and that is when the water begins to move a little bit more turbulently, and the foliage in the trees begins to move. And ladies and gentlemen, it would now be initiative again.
I rolled so well last time. Oh, good. 23.
Ooh.
13.
19.
19. Oh,
19, Gizik and Lachlan.
No, 4 for Gizzard.
and Duriel and Lachlan got 19.
Okay. And Duriel, what's your dexterity?
I'm sure his is higher.
I got a +3.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure yours is higher too. So Lachlan, we're gonna make you 18.5. Okay. And poor Gizik again at the Gizik, are you sure that you don't want to collect another die 20 set, my friend, at some point? To replay? Okay.
Oh, I switch them out frequently.
All right. Mrs. Waterford only gets a 13. Lavender, what's your dexterity?
My dex is +2.
All right. Mrs. Waterford will be going before you.
Look, I'm strong, okay?
You are. You're a thug. Oh, the Vistani girl gets a 24. Sorry, Moroccan. Marietta.
Vistani are the worst.
Marietta is just a little bit faster than you are today, Moroccan. And Dr. Fields gets a 19. However,
Gizik, where are you again? I'm sorry.
9K.
Okay, thanks.
all right, Lachlan, you're probably a little bit faster than Dr. Fields. He's an elderly gentleman, and he's not quite so spry as you might think with his 9 dexterity. Okay, and the white-robed elf gets himself a 20.
Jeez.
They luckily had their coffee this morning.
They did.
They're pumped.
they had they had a Peruvian blend too. And
No.
the Piper's servant, gets a 22. Bindlesticks is moving fast. Okay.
Fiddlesticks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have our initiative, and that initiative will begin with the Vistani girl. And she is right across from Moroccan. And Moroccan, I believe you and the Vistani girl were throwing down when this whole thing started, if I remember correctly.
To be fair, she started it. I didn't get to throw a punch, but
Yeah, she did start it. Okay, she is going to use. She is going to cast Terror in the Night on you, Moroccan. What is your will?
my will is 19.
Okay, she unfortunately rolled a 27.
Jeez.
Oh, you're using Brian's dice.
7. Moroccan, you take 15 points of psychic damage.
Yeah.
And you grant concealment to everyone beyond 2 squares until the end of her next turn. She casts Terror in the Night, and in your eyes, Moroccan, the darkness falls. So you look up and you think that night has fallen, and a mist of darkness surrounds you, and out of that mist come clawing and snarling and snapping fingers at you. and they do psychic wounds. The rest of you see Morocon go into convulsions, and that is all you see. And, ooh, she is just not in a good way. Unfortunately, where is she going to go? There's a freaking Gizik north of her. She has no desire to mix it up with you. She's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. She moves into square 18K. So Marietta, the Vistani girl, moves into square 18K after she curses Morocon. And that would be all she is going to do for the moment. Morocon, it is your turn, my friend. You cannot see beyond 2 squares.
Well, I have the Amulet of Psychic Interference, which allows me to make a saving throw at the beginning of my turn. Can I use that?
It would be wonderful, except this isn't a saving throw effect, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, then, I just have to wait for it to wear off.
Yes, you have to wait for it to wear off. However, there are some people whose location you kind of have an idea of.
Right. Well, I guess, gosh dang it, I really want that Vistani girl. Well, sorry.
Everyone wants a Vistani girl.
Everybody wants to be Vistani. It's not.
There's only one.
I guess this robed white guy is going to be in a bad way in just a second. I'm going to move down to D17.
Okay.
And I will cast Healing Word up now. I'm gonna have to wait a second for that one, I think. I'll assume Fighting Fury.
You already did that. It is still on.
Oh, it's still on? Cool.
It's still on.
Then I will move over to that guy, and I will. Orocon's not very happy with not being able to see very well, so he's going to.
Well, you can see him just fine. It's people beyond 2 squares of you that you can't see. So you go running towards him, and all of a sudden he pops out of the mist.
Okay. Well,
you can see him.
You belong to me.
Oh, dear.
And I'm going to cast Brand of the Sun at this guy.
All right. His armor class is 16.
As I coil back, grab my fist and plunge it into his chest with thank you, cleric bonus, 17.
That's a hit.
To which I give him 10 damage.
Okay, and what else does it do?
Well, me or an ally within 5 squares can make a saving throw.
Well, unfortunately, that's not going to help you at this current juncture. All right, very good. So, Morocon, you come charging out of the darkness and see him, and you're like, "Ooh, pop!" And you slug him hard, and he groans under the weight of your blow. Now it would be Bindlesticks. Bindlesticks is in the tree, unfortunately, when it comes alive. And that does not bode well for him.
Also, I believe he's being, unless my shadow didn't make the trip, he was under Swarm of Shadows.
Your shadow...
Shadow of Naylock, sorry.
Your shadow, unfortunately, did not make the trip with you. However, you are free to use it again because it's a new encounter.
Okay.
So, all right. And, all right. Inside those trees, do you guys see those little red squiggles on the map there around the big trees? Looking at that right there? Those are vipers that have sprung out of the tree. And Bindlesticks has started his turn there. Unfortunately, it misses him with a 15. So it goes snapping out with him. And he goes, "Ah!" as the snakes come by. And he flings up his hand. He throws some silvery dust into the air, and he vanishes out of the tree. and he teleports down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He teleports to square 16M with his move action because he has no desire to come anywhere near those viper trees. And those viper trees, those heads are snapping within every square around the large tree. And now that you've seen that, you can tell if you move near one of these viper trees, then you are going to get stuck. And let's see, who is his closest target now that he's teleported himself to safety? There is Mrs. Waterford, the Bastani. Well, Gizik's on the other side of the tree.
And I'm on the other side of that tree.
And you're on the other side of that tree. You guys are making a nuisance of yourself. So, Bindlesticks is going to turn invisible. And that is what he does on his turn. He teleports, and like a good fae, he vanishes. And now it would be the elf in the white robe. Morocon, you thud into him, and he looks absolutely furious as you make contact. But the first thing he's going to do is cast Healing Charm on himself, and he is going to get some of his hit points back. And then, Morocon, he is going to hit you with a Withering Strike. What is your AC? Your Fortitude, excuse me.
My Fortitude?
Yep.
Is 21.
Okay. Unfortunately, Morocon, he got a 22. Anything anybody can do to help him with that?
The nearest person to me is like 12 squares away.
Yeah, that's no bueno, dude. Okay.
We could all look on in horror. Oh, no.
Well, on the plus side, it's only 7 points of damage.
Really?
However,
Knock it off. You'll be fine.
Morocon, as he hits you, he seems to draw energy out of you, and your body seems to, like, weaken and age slightly. So he takes this kind of gnarled walking stick, and he clocks you with it, and black energy kind of pours off of you, and you're like, ugh, into him, and it brings him right back up to full hit points, unfortunately.
Ugh.
And that is what he will do. And that would be his turn. Anduriel, my friend, it is now your turn.
All right. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't get to anybody. I cannot get to anybody.
You can get to Gizik.
I can go attack Gizik.
That wouldn't be
Why,
nice.
You have another problem, Anduriel.
What's that?
Well, you're standing right next to that beautiful silver and gold fruited apple tree.
I'm so distracted. I don't want to take my turn. Okay.
Well, I don't know, Anduriel. What is your will?
21.
Are you trying to say that the tree's made of blood?
No, not even slightly. Anduriel, that's a 22 versus will, unfortunately, unless Lavender can do something to help you. Anduriel, you can do anything you want, but you have to take your move action to climb the tree and a minor action to grab a piece of fruit.
So I can't do whatever I want. I can as long as I climb the tree and take the fruit.
You still have a standard action. You just have to climb up that tree and grab a piece of fruit.
Okay, so I think I'm going to climb up the tree and grab a piece of fruit
I applaud your choice.
to start off with.
Or not. All right, Anduriel, you climb up the piece of tree. Can I get a climb check from you? You only need about a 7.
I'm not trained in climb.
You can use athletics.
Okay, that is a 9.
All right, you're up the tree. Anduriel, you are now up the tree, and minor action, you grab a fruit. And it is beautiful.
Okay. Can I use my standard action to jump out of the tree
You absolutely can.
and throw the fruit away? What the crap is this?
You can't throw the fruit away. It's too shiny.
God, dag nabbit. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm like Gollum up there. Oh, the fruit.
Yeah, what happens if you eat the fruit?
I don't know.
Our vampire has turned into a squirrel.
It's healthy for you.
Precious.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to try and get out of the tree.
All right. You can go ahead and make an athletics check.
So with my bonus, that is a 17.
All right. Do you drop down to where you were, or do you want to be elsewhere?
I want to be away from the tree. Like I'm going to jump, and I'm using acrobatics, so I imagine sort of this spread eagle into a little flip and then land, superhero land, with the fruit in my hand for some reason.
Okay.
But I'm going to be
an eagle screeches as he jumps.
Okay. Cool. All right. Tell me what square you want to land in, Enduriel.
If I could land in G10.
That is more than doable.
Okay.
All right, Enduriel, you grab the fruit, and you manage to jump out of the tree, but you kind of look back at the tree, like part of you wants to climb back up and grab more fruit. And you cannot bring yourself to let go of the fruit that's in your hand either. It's like...
Can Lavender see that he's obsessed with the fruit, or is she just looking at him in the middle of the fight, just like, hey, fruit?
No,
why not?
Lavender, you take a look at him. He is quite obviously under some kind of a compulsion. He's looking around. He probably draws a dagger, and then he's like, oh, shiny. And he goes scrambling up the fruit, and he grabs it, but he keeps looking at the fruit in his hand. And you're like, dude, somebody needs some fiber? Jeez.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Lachlan, it is your turn, my friend.
Lots of blood.
Vitamin C.
Guess what, Lachlan?
Don't say it.
You're in a viper tree, Lachlan. What's your reflex?
I want to use my boot.
That's great. You can do that on your turn. What's your reflex?
Well, it is my turn.
What's your reflex, Lachlan?
It's your turn to dodge a snake.
18.
Okay.
Oh, he wants to use his wee boots. Let him use them.
That's a 24. Whoop. Drop the die 4 there. Okay, Lachlan, you take 9 points of damage. You are grabbed and ongoing poison damage 5. One of these heads wraps around your arm and sinks fangs into your arm and pumps poison into it. And that is when you notice several other snake heads come alive on the tree, and they're all moving through the tree towards you. And now it's your turn. You take 5 points of poison damage.
Okay, I'm gonna teleport.
No, you don't yet. I'm sorry, I lied. You don't take it yet.
Am I gonna take it if I get out of the grab?
Well, yeah, you're poisoned, my friend. You're
gonna take it, and you're gonna like it.
Okay, I'm going to use my boots to teleport to square Q12.
Okay.
Next to Dr. Fields.
Oh, he doesn't like you. Alrighty, very good, Lachlan. So you get bitten by the snake, and you sparkle and shimmer your way right on out of there. You step back on your boots, and remarkably, the magic of your boots works even though you're up in a tree, and you spin in place, and you flash with a sparkly gold and silver light, and then you appear next to Dr. Fields, and he's like, oh! Like, you still have your standard and your minor.
Yes, with my minor action, I'm going to use Divine Metal on myself. So he reaches up to a little symbol of Sindel and just kisses it and is like looking at that poison or where he got bit, and I'm gonna save against that sucker and get rid of that.
Okay, good luck.
Oh, I got it.
Okay, beautiful.
I got a 13. So
all right, so you managed to spit out the poison, something like that. Shake it out.
Oh, there's a flash of light from the love of Sindel. Just spits that crap right out.
Beautiful.
And then
poison can't withstand love.
And then I just look at Dr. Fields and say, go ahead, turn into a bird. It's time. And I'm just gonna whack him with my sword. What's his AC?
His AC is 19.
Oh, that's cake. Hit. Uh, 11 radiant damage.
Oh, he loves you.
So I just skewer him. Just a thrust with my longsword right into him.
All right, Dr. Fields, remember, is a little bit older, so you stab into his side with your longsword in a beautiful flourish, and he goes, ah! And now it's Dr. Fields' turn. Lachlan, he doesn't like you. Not one bit. Here's the problem. Oh, dear. There you are, Lachlan. There you are. All right, he's going to take a different tact with you, Lachlan, because here's the deal. He can't shift away to cast a spell, because the only place for him to shift is back into the stream. And he has no idea what the stream does on another plane of existence, and therefore, not... So he does wild shape, but he wild shapes into a ram. Lachlan, what's your fortitude?
Fortitude is 16.
Well, that's a 22, unless you can do something about it.
Afraid not.
Lachlan, you take 8 points of damage. And you are knocked prone. And he will shift 1 square away from you into, or below you, into 13Q.
He's gonna take damage if he does that, because of my aura.
If he shifts?
If he shifts.
He'll risk it. How much is he gonna take?
48. Sorry. I had to give it a try.
I say piece of crap, sir.
I was just some quick math.
I was just trying to speed up the combat a little bit.
8 points. So from the ground, he shifts away, and all I do is kind of flourish the blade, and a flash of red light gets him in the tuchus as he moves away.
All right. Well, he doesn't appreciate that. But he slams into you, knocks it, and he moves to like skitter away, and then he's like, ah! And it sounds like halfway human, halfway not. He doesn't like that you've done that, but that will be his turn. And now it would be Mrs. Waterford's turn. Yes, Mrs. Waterford. And Mrs. Waterford has been injured. Who injured her? Is it Lavender?
Lavender did.
I mean,
yeah.
Possibly.
Maybe.
I mean, what?
Which one's Mrs. Waterford again?
Wait, what?
She's literally the worst. That's the one.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's see. Oh, Gizik, look at you. All right. Gizik, Mrs. Waterford is going to use Song of Betrayal on you. Gizik, what is your will?
18.
All right, so she launches into this wordless, soundless melody.
Oh, so Enya.
Fortunately, and not quite, but close. And she uses Song of Betrayal and only gets an 11. Gizik, you are easily able to shake off the effects of her song.
Yeah.
Which really pisses her off.
She should have tried singing at somebody other than the witch.
Yeah, that was probably not a good idea. Your mother used this spell on you like 30 times before you were 10. You're like, what? What are you trying to do? Like, you shake it off so easily, it doesn't even enter.
You're not my mom.
You don't even sound good.
He was a difficult ogre. I had to get him to sleep somehow.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's my jam.
Okay. That really, really pisses her off. So she is going to use her action point on you, Gizik. Mrs. Waterford, Gizik, moves to square. Oh, no, there's a vampire there. Never mind.
She's going to move there anyway.
I'll risk it since I'm looking at that fruit real hard.
All right. She manages to resist the lure of the apple. Those silver and gold apples. She's got kind of a bit much on her.
Where is she?
And she's going to move down to square 20I. And that is where she is. Lavender, it is your turn. Mrs. Waterford sings and runs.
20 eye. I mean, I was gonna come say hi to her, but now I feel like she doesn't want to talk to me.
Well, I don't know, she does seem to be like upset.
I mean, it was pretty rude of her. Just say it.
Just to sing and
Okay.
run, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my new friend is staring at fruit. Not ideal.
Really shiny fruit.
Really shiny
It's great
fruit.
He can't seem to let it go either.
How does
It's
it
No,
taste?
he's obsessed with it.
He
Like,
hasn't
really?
eaten it.
Raw fruit diets. It's not ideal.
No.
Okay.
Especially for a vampire.
Restore vitality is gonna remove hindering effects. Do I think that would remove whatever's got this vampire obsessed with fruit?
It's like, how in the world can we stop this tree hugger from all this?
Honestly, it's better than blood. I'm very pro it, but
You
maybe not in the middle of a battle.
You actually think restore vitality will shake him out of it?
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go up. Hand on the shoulder.
Okay.
Now's not the time for fruit, buddy. Restore vitality.
What are you talking about? Have you seen this fruit? It's amazing.
All right, Lavender, you move into square 10F.
Yeah.
All right. She moves into 10 square. Now's not the time for fruit. And Duriel, you can drop the fruit, throw the fruit, whatever, on your turn. But
Okay.
you kind of snap out of it, and you're like, what the frick am I doing? Picking fruit in the middle of the fight.
Just like,
Very
yeah,
nicely done.
That was
Lavender?
good.
Nobody but Lavender saw me like,
It's our secret.
It's,
And then I have 4 spheres, which have it says range 20.
yeah, you got a
Oh.
long range with those bad boys, and you've got
Yes.
a lot of people in your sight.
Nice.
Yes, I do. And I have someone in 18E who I would
Yes.
like to hit.
You're
But I'm
going after the elf in the white robe?
Yeah,
fake
because
pistol.
Mrs. Waterford's behind a tree, so,
Yes, she is.
you know.
You got the Vistani
Okay.
and Mrs. Vistani, and also, actually, no, you can see Mrs. Waterford.
Oh, can I?
Yeah, you can.
Well, we're such good friends. I'm sorry. I'm gonna do a hit.
Okay, get her.
9. Rolled a 9, and that is +7. Sorry.
Did you roll a 9?
Yeah, I rolled a 9.
Okay, let me find your force spheres. Okay.
Sorry.
A +7. So you got a 16, and it targets reflex. You got her. Her reflex is only 14. She's not moving
Okay.
quick in that big poofy blue dress.
I know she didn't. She needs to get some armor like mine.
Mhm.
1d6 plus intelligence. So that's a 6. And my intelligence is
It's +5
6.
total.
Oh, +5. Cool.
So how much did you do total?
11.
Whatever you rolled, +5.
11 then.
11. Okay. So you slam one. Where do you throw it at her? Where do you try to hit her with it?
I reckon like she's like moving away.
Yeah.
So right in the back.
All right. So Lulu, priestess of, or excuse me, Lavender, priestess of Bahara, you do the baseball throw. You go, "No!" Like it's like Johnny Cage's little green orb. It flies under her back and goes, and she goes, oh! Like, and it hits her square in the back, and she turns around and hisses a few uncomplimentary words about your virtue. That would be her reaction.
Not
And
the first time.
Gizik, it is your turn.
Is it
And
really
Durian
finally?
It is, Gizik. All the way at the end of combat, Gizik, it's your turn.
All right. Well, I'm going to try to call to Dr. Fields, bring him over to me.
Oh, you want to bring him over to you?
I do.
Okay.
Well, at least one step closer.
All right. Get Dr. Fields.
He's right next to the river, right?
He is. His will is 14.
Okay. Which means I need at least a 5. All right. So this is 22 versus will.
All right. You got him. You have bewitched someone. Gizik, way to go.
I love when Gizzard
Come
gets
to me,
fired
Dr. Fields, and I'm going to make him walk into the river.
Lachlan, it's forced movement, so unfortunately you don't get an attack of opportunity. But you move him into the river, into square 13-0.
Move him just one square farther.
So he's right next to that tree, too.
Right. Dr. Fields loses a healing surge and... Oh, no. Dr. Fields forgets his class powers until the end of your next turn. He can only use melee basic.
Very nice.
So,
He's not
Gizik,
built
you
for that.
pull him into this rushing stream of gray water, and the water just kind of laps up around him, and he looks like, oh, it hits him like cold water, like a bucket of cold water, and he looks around and he's like, where am I? What am I doing here? And that is when Deferzarak starts laughing, and he goes, ha, you fool! What kind of a moron gets dragged into a tributary of the river Styx? And he lets out a uproarious laughter.
Where is he standing, by the way?
He is floating in square 14K, kind of next to the Viper tree, although the Vipers seem to be leaving him alone. All right, Gizik, that's just your bewitch. What else are you going to do?
Yeah, so it was minor to bewitch him, and then a move to make him go into the river.
No. You get the move action as part of the casting of bewitch. You apply the effect immediately.
Okay.
You still have a move and a standard.
All right, but then next time if I want to move him, that takes my...
Minor.
Oh, that's a
It takes
minor
your-
action.
yep.
Okay. I'm going to move down to H13.
Okay.
And cast Sap the Soul on... J19 should hit Marietta and Waterford, I believe.
Yeah.
So
Gizik,
this
how
is-
close are you going to get to the Viper tree, just out of curiosity?
I was already too close.
You were not adjacent to it.
I was not
so-
adjacent to it, but I was already as close as I ever want to be.
Okay.
So I'm going to
I'm
circle.
assuming you're going to
circle
try
out
to-
around, kind of. It's still easily within 6.
All right, Marietta's
Spaces.
will is a lovely 18, and Mrs. Waterford's is only 14. Thanks to
This is
Lavender's
against
power.
Fortitude.
Oh,
She loves
her-
me.
Mrs. Waterford's fortitude is 14, and the Marietta's is 18.
Okay, so Waterford rolled an 18. Marietta rolled an 18.
You got them both.
Nice.
Okay.
Why is Marietta
this
such
is
a
a-
badass?
The Vistani girl.
Yeah,
All right, so
Why do you
that's
think she's badass?
7 damage on both of them.
better will.
Okay.
She kind of.
Kind of is.
Well, she hasn't used all of her powers yet.
We should have cut her head off when she started talking, guys. Remember? That's what we did with the Vistanians.
That was a mistake. That was your mistake. That's very true.
Everybody gets a chance at a trial, no matter how
Okay.
annoying they are.
Never how annoying. All right. Well, back up to the top, Gizik, unless you're using your action point.
Nope.
Okay. Back up to the top would bring us to Marietta. And Marietta, she really hates that you did that, Gizik. But I think... What does she want to do? I think she's more interested in preventing Morocon from making a further nuisance of himself. So she is going to move to square 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She moves to square F21. So Gizik, you shock her with that little like red lightning effect. She goes, ah! And then she just bolts and goes running through the garden so she can see Morocon. Morocon, she's going to use Eyes of the Vistani on you. What is your will?
19.
Unfortunately, that is only a 14, which really irritates her because that would have immobilized you, Morocon. So she tries to get into your head, and you fight it off quite effectively. And that is her turn. All right, Morocon, it's your turn, buddy.
Okay.
What you
Well,
gonna do?
well, I'm going to cast Healing Word on myself real quick.
Oh, that's a good idea there. That's what that is.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so glad when the numbers add up to an even number that I can count easily. Okay, and now I'm going to look at this elf dude in front of me, and he's, well, the only guy I can see in front of me.
Okay.
I'm not very happy with him smacking me with a stick, so...
You can actually see just fine now because Marietta's turn is over.
Oh, well, this guy's right in front of me, so...
He is. And doesn't that mean he should suffer?
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm gonna look at him and say, "May Hermina have mercy on your soul." As my fist starts to glow, I cast Sacred Shielding right at his dumb elf face.
Okay. Oh. Get him. Okay.
Which is a cleric attack. So that is a 19 against AC.
You got him.
Oh, thank you. Because that was not a great roll. For 14 damage.
All right. So where do you strike him?
So it is right in the square in the face.
Okay. So you punched him once. He whacked you with a stick. You knocked the stick out of the way, and you just boom, you club him in the face. And he reels, and you hear bone crack under, and it's really unpleasant. That's Moroccan. Now it's ugly. Now it's Bindlesticks. And Bindlesticks is the one who turned invisible. And what is he going to do?
He's going to do everyone a favor and walk into the river.
He's going to take his leave. Good day.
That is also an acceptable solution.
Now, he is going to use Song of Death. And let's see. Ooh, this is going to be ugly. He moves to square 13E and becomes visible. And he is going to use Song of Death, which is going to hit Lavender and Duriel, Gizik, and Moroccan.
Can I use Channel Divinity on that, or is that not?
You absolutely can use Channel Divinity on that.
I'm gonna do it.
Now would be a great time. All right, let's see how this rolls. Actually, yeah, let's see how this rolls out first. And Duriel, what is your will or your fortitude? Excuse me.
Fortitude is 19.
Hey, he got you. Lachlan, what's your fortitude?
That's not me. I'm
excuse me.
over on the other side.
Gizik, what's your fortitude? Oh!
Sounds like it doesn't matter.
You're dead.
Oh boy.
What's your fortitude there, Giz? Is it 1800? Fortitude, buddy?
Oh, sorry,
I
I was muted for a second. 18.
Yeah, 18. All right. He got a 20. Oh, it's only a 5. You're just fine right there. Only a 5. Okay. Okay. However, it is still a crit, so you will take max damage. Lavender, you will take nothing if you are going to channel Divinity. And Duriel, you are hit. Moroccan, he missed you with a low 6.
Oh, good.
All right, so Lavender, you will be
timing
able to channel Divinity. Yes, it will affect everybody else, but you will cast it back. So he starts singing, and this magical energy washes out over Gizik and Anduriel. Gizik, you take 32 points of necrotic and psychic damage.
What? Okay.
And Duriel, you take 23 points of necrotic and psychic damage. And ongoing necrotic damage 5 as you begin to age and rot.
Yeah, I made the right choice. This sounds nasty.
I think it was a good move.
Well, I just got hit, so as an immediate reaction, Anduriel will call out, "Naylock, bring to life the shadow of my vengeance," and he's gonna send the shadow right back at Bindle Freak.
Oh, this is gonna suck so hard. Lavender, what do you shout out?
I shout out, my teacher, please show me the way to wisdom and grant me the strength to follow it, and then spell turning.
Okay, so
It
Anduriel
goes
uses
back on him.
an interrupt, then it goes back on him. So, and I have to roll damage on him now for what would have done. He has no necrotic resistance or psychic resistance. Or actually, you know what, Lulu? Why don't you roll the damage? It's 2 die 10.
2 die 10?
Yeah, 2 die 10.
Okay.
Those are the die 10s, bad boys.
For
Can I just say how really cool it
5,
is
9.
that your? Can I just say how really cool it is that your channel divinity is an interrupt?
Yeah, both of them, actually. What'd you get?
9
9 total?
in total.
All right, plus 12 is 21 points of damage as he has struck with the force of his own spell. Which sucks
Very
for
nice.
Gizik and Enduriel, but her holy symbol flares with light, and the energy washes back over him, and he's like, "Ugh!" And he starts to wither and age, and just like Enduriel and Gizik, his hair starts to grow white, his skin starts to wrinkle, he has hemorrhoids, and he has a real hard time. He has to go to the bathroom a lot. It's really unpleasant. And that is what happens to him. Now, the way that this works, my friends, is you take ongoing necrotic 5, and every round you have to make an endurance check or be weakened, and any missed attacks knock you prone. So it is a bad, bad scenario, my friends.
Did he take the 5 for the shadow?
Yes, he is
Okay.
taking ongoing 5 damage. That he will take on the start of his turn.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so
So
Boy.
glad he missed me.
he is so... All right. He's got the song on him, and now he's got Anduriel's shadow choking him.
Who is this? Bindlesticks?
Bindlesticks, yeah. And he's visible, too. It's just... He's in square 13E, right in the middle of everybody, and his magic has been
Sad face
reflected
next to
back.
And his name's Bindlesticks.
Yeah.
Having a good time.
He's not laughing anymore. He doesn't think that's funny.
Lavender looks a little bit pleased. She's like, it's the first time I did it.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
I like that one.
Maybe you shouldn't try to use magic against a priestess of Vahara. It's just, ugh.
Ah.
I don't know. Maybe that was a bad move on your part.
Can Aelin do that?
You can. What's that? Oh,
Oh no, Gauntlet
Scarlet Moth, are you listening? Thrown down. In point of fact, Aelin can't do that. Okay. Okay. Does she shout that out, by the way? Can Aelin do that? I'm not sure.
Probably.
Okay. All right. It is Epistovus's turn.
Lavender's
already
going to
knew.
stop and tweet that out real quick.
Yeah, hang on, guys.
Yeah, do it. Do it. Get her. Tweet it out. Let's see. Oh, dear. All right. Morokhan, you are going to force him to use Healing Charm on himself again. To heal himself up. So you have drained both of his healing charms that he uses on himself. And that is going to be his minor. And Morokhan, you are all up in his grill. He's going to shift back 1 square away from you, Morokhan, into 19E.
Do I get an attack of opportunity?
No, because he only shifted the 1 square. Remember, you can safely shift 1 square with a move. And what is he going to do to you? He is going to... He's going to cast Glorious Presence on you, Morokhan. What is your will?
19.
Actually, he can't do that. Oh, yes, he can. Okay. Miss! Well, you are a lucky Morokhan. He casts Glory... Oh, you know what? He's going to use his Elven Accuracy power to re-roll that attack.
Ugh.
And he rolls a 2 and misses again. Very nice. All right, Morokhan, he makes a really stupid mistake. He casts Glorious Presence, and he lifts his hands up, and a burst of radiant light like flares out from him, and you're like, this is like morning prayers, dude. What are you doing? Like,
You should know I bathe in Hamina's light.
yeah, he doesn't, and he looks at you, and he's like, what? And then he sprouts out, he says, Clary! They're not falling as easily as you said they would. And she looks back at him and she goes, shut up, Epistovus. You're lucky you even have a body to complain in. And that's where it starts to get a little fraying at the ranks here. Anduriel, it is your turn, my friend.
Okay.
Anduriel, you take 5 points of necrotic damage, which is going to hurt, and I'm going to need you to make an endurance check. Are you trained in endurance, Anduriel?
Oh, check no.
Okay, so that's half your level and your constitution modifier. That's what you add.
Okay. That is 18.
Okay, that is exactly what you needed.
Oh,
So, Anduriel,
son.
you are still feeling the weakening effects of this aging, but you managed to just kind of throw off the panic that comes with it. You are, however, feeling a little bit weak. So, just to let you know, you're still aging. What would you like to do?
A little bit hungry. So I think bindle sticks could serve as a little bit of replenishment. So I'm going to attack bindle sticks with Taste of Life.
Okay.
It's deceiving because it's not actually life for him; it's life for me.
Yeah. It's not. He's not getting a taste of anything but pain. Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah. Yes.
So that is versus Fortitude.
Yep.
It is a 19.
His fortitude is only 17. You got him.
Woo. Okay. I'm going to use Blood Drinker.
Okay.
To add some extra die damage. 8. 14 plus 9. 23 points of damage.
That bloodies him.
Oh, does it?
Actually, it does. Yeah, it bloodies him.
And Duriel finds that fascinating. So here's how it goes. And Duriel kind of shakes out of the spell or the effect that he was under. He looks over at Bindlestick just with murder in his eyes because he was the one that was around when he drank from the chalice. He kind of was pushing Anduriel to do that, and Anduriel's not super happy about that. So Anduriel looks up. This is over between us. I'm going to end you now. And so he runs, and as he's running, it's kind of like slow motion because it's cool. And opens his mouth, the fangs extend a little bit, and he goes and he grabs his Bindlesticks has hair, right?
Long hair, beautiful, long, luxurious.
Grabs that little ponytail, wrenches it back, and just bites into his neck. And with Blood Drinker, I get a healing surge, which is nice. I'm going to need it. And so then he's just drinking some blood. Okay.
Well, you gain a healing surge and you actually bloody him. All right. And anything else you're going to do, or is that good?
No, but at the end of the turn he's kind of coming away from drinking, and he's next to this bloodied opponent. He starts to giggle a little bit. He starts to.
Okay. And Duriel, something else very disturbing happens to you as you begin to drink his blood and giggle. You feel yourself shrinking somewhat. Like you feel your body is like contracting unnaturally and even somewhat painfully, and you feel yourself kind of just like shrinking a little bit.
So many pleasant things happening at the moment.
Yeah, it's good blood. I mean, you're definitely nourished, but ooh. Okay, that is Anduriel's turn. Lachlan, it's your turn, my friend.
Wait, Anduriel, what square are you in now?
Yeah, what square are you in?
Yes, 12 G.
He is in square 13E, so you're gonna have to be close.
Sorry, F.
Okay.
All right, Anduriel's in 12F. Lachlan, my friend, you are there.
Well, I'll start by standing up.
Okay.
What about Wendell?
Sir Wendell Pembleton is in the back. He's in square 7Q. And so far he has yet to do much. But he is right next to one of those trees, and you notice that he's staring up into it.
7Q is under one of the trees. Or
He's
in the
having
tree.
a great time.
You meant 3Q.
3Q. Excuse me. Yeah, he's in 3Q. Yeah, he is adjacent to one of those apple trees, and he is staring right up at that fruit. It looks great.
I just haven't heard his name for a while. Thought I'd ask.
Yeah.
I know the feels, bro. I know the feels.
Yeah, he thinks it's great.
Lavender's like, I've healed one. I'm not healing another.
Yeah. Like, he's on his own.
What's going on with Dr. Fields? Is he just sitting there? Is the water above his head?
No. The water is just a stream, and the water is moving fast, and it's sloshing up around him. But he's just kind of standing in the water, and he is still a ram. I would like to point out, a very confused ram. I mean, you've seen confused animals before, and he's like, he keeps turning his head in different directions.
Okay. I need to get across this water.
Go for it. Just wade on through.
In a minute.
It wouldn't take very much to get a running jump across.
Nope, that's only 2 squares.
You can do it, Bard.
You try to make a deal.
No, I want to channel divinity at Mrs. Waterford.
Oh, you do?
I do. She's within 10.
She is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, she is.
Because if she just runs and throws herself prostrate at me, I mean, there's just not much better than that.
She's gonna have to run through the water too. It'll be so romantic. Like,
I know.
Oh, yes.
Okay, well, that's 19 versus Will.
Alrighty, 19 versus poor Mrs. Waterford's will. Thanks to Lavender, her will is only a 14. So
he stands up, rights himself, aims his sword at her, and says, "Lady Trueheart, shatter this fiend's heart on the altar of your scorn." And then he smiles at her and winks. Come here.
That pulls her 4 squares, yes?
5. Yes.
5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, she's in the water! Look at that.
Oh.
All right.
Shame.
Let's see.
Hold 5, knock prone, vulnerable 5 all, and must spend her next standard action begging forgiveness and confessing her undying love. And I'm going to sustain that next round, so she's going to have to save to end that crap.
So you're going to give up your standard action next round to keep her there doing the... Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So she's trying to kneel in the water, and that's really going to go poorly for her, as it turns out. So she splashes down into the water. She's like, "Part of your world," and it's like it's not working out for her. So this is, oh my gosh, this is going to be so awful for her. I think she has a new friend. That's Lachlan. All right, now it is Dr. Fields' turn. Dr. Fields.
I'm going to use my minor action to use Bardic Inspiration. I'm going to give Bardic Inspiration to Gizik.
Okay.
And
he could use it.
I think he could
Generally,
use a heal.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh yeah.
so
heal
I
too.
I see him over there, and I say, and I just start singing like little ditty about a girl who fell in the stream, a girl who fell in the water, something just like a pleasant little nursery rhyme style of song. And Gizik, this one goes out to Gizik.
All right, something like, "Jack and Jill went up the hill, but Jill took a fall in the water." Ha! Something like, yeah. Hopefully yours is better than mine. I like that. All right, Loxon turns over that. Now it will be Dr. Fields. Dr. Fields is really unhappy because he doesn't know how to druid anymore. So for his turn, he's going to transform back into a human. Actually, he can't do that. He can't transform back into a human because he doesn't remember how. So he thinks he's a ram at this point. But I think he instinctively will know that he needs to get out of the water. So Dr. Fields is going to make any part of that. 1, 2, 3. All right, he's going to get out of the water, and he's going to charge Gizik. Gizik, what is your AC, my friend?
19.
All right, let's see if he recharges. Oh, he can't. He can only make melee basic attacks. All right, so he's going to make a melee and he missed. Okay, with a pathetic 13.
How close did he get to the snake tree?
To the snake tree?
Mm-hmm.
Not. He didn't get close at all.
All right. So where did he end up?
14I. He's right adjacent from you.
Okie dokie.
And that's his pathetic turn.
It was bad.
Somebody had to do it.
I'm
all right.
sorry. I am sorry. I'm muting myself.
Mrs. Waterford, unfortunately, is stuck in the water. And it's really unpleasant. The first thing she's going to have to do is try to make an athletics check to avoid going down the stream. And I don't think she's trained. No, she's not. Mrs. Waterford gets washed down the stream 6 squares. 3, 4, 5, 6. She gets washed down into square 21M, Lachlan. So, and the most pathetic part of it is, the whole time she's getting washed down this river, her big poofy blue dress is like flipping up over her head. And she's going, I love you. I'm coming back. Just wait. She's really mad. So she now has a minor and a move action. She's going to take her move action to try to right herself, which she does.
Doesn't she suffer some sort of attack from the river?
Yes, she does. Yeah, I already rolled it. It got her.
Oh.
So
I meant like to lose her mind.
Yes, I know. I already rolled it. It got her.
Oh, good.
And it's not that she loses her mind. She has forgotten how to use her magic. So she gets up, and with her minor action, she screams out. Well, first she spits out a bunch of water. And she screams out, Deferzarak! She says, I wish to make the pact certain. Aid me in this struggle against them. And I would like all of you to make a knowledge religion check, DC 18.
Yep.
14.
20.
20.
30.
16.
Okay.
23.
Doesn't sound like a good idea. Lavender, what'd you get?
I rolled 16 plus 6.
Okay. So, Lavender, your
22.
blood kind of runs cold, and Lachlan's blood runs cold, and Morokon's run cold. You know, because you studied, that a pact certain is when you sell Asmodeus your soul.
Oh.
So she has just used her minor action to offer up a pact certain in order to get assistance in defeating you. And there will be consequences for that at the beginning of the next round. Lavender, it is your turn.
Solid. Okay. Where is Mrs. Waterford?
She got washed downstream.
We just had a...
She's standing up in square 21M.
Okay.
She's still within range, unless you want to...
It's not great. It's not. I would like to... Range of 10 for that one. Sorry, everyone. Sorry. Okay, yeah. I would like to face step 5 towards her.
Okay.
And then use mind lock.
What square do you want to wind up in?
I-15. I can move diagonal on it?
Yes, but then you will provoke an attack of opportunity from Dr. Fields. You can't use a ranged attack adjacent to an enemy.
Okay.
You could move into square 15G and do it from there.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
I will do that, yes. And then mind lock. Okay. So, see, intelligence versus will.
Okay, Mrs. Waterford's will is only 14.
Yeah, I'm a bit higher than that.
Okay, you got her.
Okay.
So, 1d8 plus 5
1d8.
damage?
Yes, 1d8 plus 5.
Actually, it's plus 10. She's vulnerable 5 all.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
She is
no.
vulnerable.
Thank you.
Oh, is she still marked from the last episode too?
The
No.
divine challenge.
Yeah. Okay.
No, she's no longer marked from that.
Okay.
So that's a 6 plus 10, so 16.
Okay. Oh, poor Mrs. Waterford.
And she can't shift.
All right. So Lavender, you invade her mind rather easily, and as you enter into her mind, you are surprised at the level of rage and desperation that she is kind of giving off in waves. But you get into her mind and you psychically pummel her, and she's like, "Oh!" Like you've been hammering psychic blows on her. She grabs her head, and then she freezes because you've paralyzed her in her own mind. She doesn't think she can move, and she doesn't even remember how to use her powers. Which is really unfortunate for her. Gizik, it is your turn, my friend. Gizik, you take 5 points of necrotic damage.
Ow.
How you doing there, Giz? What you down to, baby?
I'm down to 4.
Okay.
Ew.
Just checking.
All right, well, I grimace with that, and then I start to grin a little bit, and I kind of like shoo Dr. Fields, and he takes a step and walks over to J13.
Okay.
Right next to this tree.
Ah,
And what happens to him next to the tree?
Well, let's see what happens to him next to the tree. Oh!
oh yes, finally, it's on our side.
Oh yeah.
The tree credited him?
The tree did. There's your 20, my friend.
Awesome.
Yes.
Unfortunately, that's only a 9. However, let me see what the bonus of the... It's a plus 10, 19 versus reflex. And Dr. Field's reflex is 16. That is the crit.
Yeah,
Right.
roll that
Right.
6.
Well, do you want to roll it, Gizik? Or do you want me to?
Oh, don't let Jeff roll it.
She's not my party, so yeah, we'd better have somebody else roll.
Well, unfortunately, my friend, it is only a 1, but it's a juicy one because it does max damage. All right, Dr. Fields takes 9 points of damage, which isn't too bad, but now he's grappled and he's poisoned.
Serves him right.
All right, poor Dr. Fields.
Is he still a sheep?
And that's just your minor action. Yes, he's a sheep. So there's a snake coming off of this tree, and it's wrapped around him like a python, and has sunk its fangs in him, and he's like, ah! It's bad news. Very nice, Gizik. You still have your standard and your minor, or in your move.
All right. I'm gonna duck down to the ground, stick my fists on the ground, and get my stony fist of stone.
All right.
And
And what will you do with your standard?
second wind.
Okay.
Do I have an action point? I think I used it a couple of encounters ago.
Your action point, I do not have it marked off on my chart.
I think I used it right after we were tied up, maybe.
Okay. All right. Well, you still have your standard. You're just going to use it.
Tied up where?
Right after our wipe, we woke up tied up in the barn or wherever.
That's a while ago.
That's a while ago, so I should have that action point back then. Okay, I'm going to use it now then.
Okay.
Let's see. So that was minor, 2 minors, and a standard action point. So I just have my standard left. I'm going to charge Bindle Sticks.
Oh, poor kid.
I support that.
All right. So that's
Poor
a
Bindle Sticks.
24 versus AC.
24 versus... Yeah, that'll do it. Poor Bindle Sticks. He's been taken to town.
For 15 damage.
All right. What does that look like?
Huge ogre running at him, and then I just swing my fist and just pound it into him. With a few pounds of rock covering my fist.
Oh, poor Bindle Sticks.
And also, my nice magical claw. So it stabs and cuts across him as well.
All right, what square do you wind up in, Gizik? 13F?
Yeah, 13F.
Okay. All right, so you and Ender are right on Bindle Sticks. Okay, that is the end of the round, with Gizik having pounded on Bindle Sticks. And Mrs. Waterford shouted out that she was willing to make the pact certain, which means that she is offering up her soul if he will help you, if Deferzarak will help defeat you. And he says, well, at last, something I can work with. And he flies up several squares. He draws a glowing black sword, and a bolt of lightning fires down towards each member of the party.
That's not good.
And you all take 15 points of thunder and lightning damage.
Jeez.
And I collapse.
Can I make a reflex save and avoid it?
No, that's not actually an option. So he is 5 squares up in 14K. So you all take 15 points of thunder and lightning damage from Deferzarak. And Mrs. Waterford is teleported out of the filthy gray tributary of the River Styx.
I tried.
And she is teleported somewhere that you cannot see. And
oh boy.
That is how he chooses to help for now. All right, back to the top. It would be Marietta's turn, the Vistani. She is really irritated. Moralcon, you are just a juicy piece of Dragonborn right there.
Aren't I always?
True enough. She is going to cast Darkling Curse on you, Moralcon. What is your will?
19.
All right, she got a 19 exactly. Anything anybody can do to help with that?
What kind of save is that? Sorry.
It's an attack. It's a will attack.
We have to increase.
No, sorry.
Unfortunately, nothing that she can do for that.
Sorry.
That I see.
Yeah.
Not seeing anything in particular. Nope. Okay.
I thought I could, but I'm too far away.
Alrighty. So that is a great big bottle of ugly right there. So she got you, Moralcon. Unfortunately, you are going to take 12 points of psychic damage and you fall prone. What are you down to, Morocon?
22.
Okay. And that is Marietta's turn. And she's going to move away because she doesn't want you charge attacking her. So she is going to move over to square 19J. Ugh, no. She's going to move to square 18J. Okay. She moves to square 18J. And she looks over at Dr. Fields and she says, "Stop messing around, you stupid druid! Finish them off while they're weak!" And poor Dr. Fields is like, Poor Dr. Fields. Tough to be Dr. Fields. All right, Morocon, it is your turn, my friend.
Okay, well, guess I'll stand up.
I applaud this action.
Good plan.
So I guess really all I can do is charge at this point, right?
Who are you charging?
Epistovus. He's just
Unless you'd
Charge
like
him.
to use your action point, you can charge attack him. Well, actually, you can't because don't you have to be 2 squares away, Ryan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I am.
unfortunately, you can't charge him.
He's only 2 squares away from me.
You can charge Bindlesticks.
You have to move 2 squares to charge towards him.
You only have
Right.
1 square between you. You have to move in a straight line 2 squares. So you can charge Bindlesticks if you want to. Everybody else has been beating on him.
Right. Well, like, even still, if I move toward Bindlesticks, he'll still be out of range, so guess I'll run toward Bindlesticks, I suppose. So I'll be in E15.
Bindlesticks is in square 13E.
Right. I can only move 2 squares, though, right?
You have to
No.
move at least 2.
You can move your whole movement.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll move all the way up.
To 14D?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, make your melee basic attack on him. And are you adding your damage for Fighting Fury?
Yes, I have been.
Okay, good. Just making check.
Yeah. So...
You get a +1 when you charge 2, right?
Yep.
To attack, yeah.
To attack? Oh,
Yep.
good. So melee basic is 15 to hit.
His AC is 19, unfortunately.
Yeah, so I missed.
Whiff. Okay. Fiddlesticks is surrounded, so now he's got some dragonborn beast charging at him and taking a wild swing. He's got the vampire around him, and
Isn't Anduriel in F12?
yes,
So he would be flanking.
Yes.
You'd get a +2 to attack.
that would still only be
It
17.
still would only be 17. I was
Oh,
still would have
okay.
missed.
Yeah.
Who did you grant Bardic Inspiration to? Gizik?
Gizik.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Can that be used for a save?
Yeah.
All right, good.
Okay.
Gonna need that.
Okay. That was the Moralcon's turn, and now it is Bindlestick's turn. And Bindlesticks has no desire to be dealing with this. So, he is going to use fairy form, Moralcon. When you swing at him, he shifts down to a tiny size, becomes invisible, and flies 10 squares away.
Son of a Bindlesticks.
Very true.
We had him right there.
Attacks of opportunity, anyone?
He is invisible, which is going to make that difficult. You're gonna, but you do get them, right, Ryan?
I don't think so. I think you can only make attacks of opportunity against people you can see.
Oh, unfortunately, you cannot see him. And Duriel, he goes buzzing by you.
Can I smell him? Because he's bloodied. Just
Not
take a wild
so
swing
much.
with my knife. Maybe hit Gizik, maybe not. I don't know.
Something. No, he is. He is what he is.
Okay.
Okay, that was Bindlestick's turn. He has no desire to be seen. That was actually his immediate turn. I don't know. Okay. All right, that's Bindlestick's. Epistovus' turn. Oh, Lithuania is calling. No.
Pick up. It's probably important. I mean, it's Lithuania.
It's Lithuania. No, Lithuania. I will not be talking to you tonight. Oh, dear. Oh, he is really not a powerful witch. Well, first things first. Look at all of you. Morocon, no, he's going to go for Gizik. Oh, my gosh. You guys are just terrible. You're all over him. Gizik, he's going to go for you. He's going to try to bewitch you. What's your will, Gizik?
18. And since I'm unconscious, does that get a bonus?
He does get combat advantage against you. Actually, no. If you're unconscious, he's not going after you.
All right, fine.
All right, Morocon, that 11 goes to you, Morocon. What is your will?
19.
Okay, that is not good enough. Unfortunately, he misses you. Okay, now he's going to try to use Witch's Will on you. And that is a 17, and he misses you with that as well. And that is all. Okay, he has no interest in dealing with you. He's going to run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's going to run to square. Ugh. He's going to wind up in square 21K by the river.
Dang, he covered some ground.
21K is where Epistovus runs to. He doesn't want to be next to the river, but he doesn't really want to go into melee with any of you either.
It worked out so well for him last time.
All right, Anduriel, my friend, did you save last round against the spell that Bindlesticks used on you?
Yeah.
And did you make your save or no? Or did you not?
No. I was no, Lavender helped me.
Oh, that's right. Lavender, did you no, Lavender helped you with the fruit.
She helped me with the fruit.
Not the death spell. Yeah, so you didn't make your save last round, did you?
I did not make my save last round.
All right, make your save for the last round.
All right, so do I get any bonus to my save?
No, you just have to roll a 10 or higher. What did you get?
I rolled an 11.
All right, so you are good to go. You managed to shake off the effects of the spell. Anduriel, you don't take any damage. However, Bindlesticks takes 5 points of choking damage.
Oh, yeah, he needs to save.
Okay. He does not save, so now he's blinded. Okay.
He's invisible and blind.
Yes, he is invisible and blind.
Okay.
Okay, Anduriel, it is your turn.
I need to use a healing surge.
How are you going to do that?
Just going to do it.
You have to have a power that grants you the use of one of your surges. Are you going to use healing surge?
Okay.
There's always second wind.
Or second wind, yeah.
Actually, I have a potion. I'm going to take a healing potion.
All right, you spend a surge. You spend a surge and heal 10 hit points.
That was bracing.
Okay.
Now I'm back in double digits. That's good. I'd like to do a perception check just to see kind of for D-Rack up there floating above the tree. I want to see kind of if I can perceive just how dangerous this person is, like if he's all talk or if he's actually like a legit threat.
Well, with one stroke of his sword, he did 15 points of thunder and lightning damage to all of you at the beginning of the round.
Yeah, but maybe that's a one-off, you know? Anduriel's seen some stuff. He's been around a long time.
Okay. So you don't want to make a perception check? I think you want to make an insight check to see what his intentions are.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay, are you trained in insight?
I'm not.
Half your level and your wisdom modifier.
That was an 18, so I don't have a wisdom modifier, so 9 to 20.
Okay. So with a 20 and an insight, as you take a look at him and try to kind of just read him, he seems gleefully amused, and he doesn't look like he's done messing with you. He's not just looking down in amusement. He's looking down, hovering where he is, like, who am I going to strike down next?
Okay.
Would like to remind you that Gizik is on the floor also.
I was going to say, Anduriel looks around. He sees Gizik laying right next to him unconscious. Morokhan looks like he's in rough shape. He can't even see Lachlan anywhere because of the trees. Lavender, how are you doing?
Yeah, not too great. She is bloody.
Everyone's looking pretty rough. And so he's like, I don't know if we're going to be able to pull this off. And so he's going to call out to Naylock and just say, Naylock, if ever you have been my god, if you ever I've been your servant, we need your help. We need it now. Please send your help.
Are you asking for divine intervention?
He's asking for divine intervention. It's kind of desperate measures here because I'm in trouble.
Okay.
We're in trouble.
All right. Wow. Let's just take stock of how badly in trouble. Gizik, you're unconscious, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Lav, what are you down to?
18.
Lachlan, what are you down to?
21.
Morokhan, what are you down to?
22.
And Anduriel, what are you down to?
11.
All right, so things are all right. Things are ugly. Okay. Bindlesticks is invisible, although being choked. Mrs. Waterford is nowhere to be seen. Dr. Fields is wounded and goaded, but he'll be back into it. The Vistani girl is going to town with all of her spells and curses. And Epistovus is running, but he's doing all right. So, yeah, you guys look like you're in trouble. So, Anduriel, here's what happens. As you utter your prayer, quite suddenly, time begins to slow down all around you to the point where you begin to even see, the dust in the air begins to slow down also. Everything just kind of freezes around you. And then time stops altogether, and you are the only one who seems to be moving. And descending from the sky, you see a figure in black plate mail armor and a black lace funeral shroud covering their head. The figure descends on wings of darkest ebony and carries in its hand a long runic blade of white bone etched with red runes. And you instantly recognize, because of your religious training, the figure of Nath Kashara, the angel of sacrificial death. Oh. And she lands down in front of you in square F10.
What was her name again?
Nath Kashara.
Okay.
The angel of sacrificial death. And she pulls back her shroud, and you see an exquisitely beautiful angelic face. She has raven black hair that falls in thick tresses around her, all the way kind of down the front of her armor. And as she pulls back the hood, you see her pale alabaster skin and red glowing eyes. They're kind of like slightly leaking energy and power. And she lifts her head up and looks at you and says, "Sweet child, this is how you have eluded me for so long? To think that all this time I have hunted you among the living, whilst you hid among the undead. There is great irony in this."
And Duriel's like, you're not Naylock?
Okay. And she says, "No, child, I am his messenger. You called upon the god, and I have answered. I come at his behest."
I kind of didn't expect him to answer, actually. Who are you? Who he has sent? I don't understand.
Okay. She says, "Do you know that Father Garin only drove me off that day by the riverbank because he possessed the Staff of Virtue, the most holy relic of the Church of Healing? How long will you survive if I come to complete your sacrifice, as I must?"
Oh, for the love of Shadow, how do you know Father Garin?
Have you not guessed?
I don't want to believe it, but I'm starting to think you're my mother.
That is a name. That is a name I have not heard ever breathed from the lips of my children. None
because
of them
you keep
have
killing them.
Okay. And she says, I am a sacrificed child. I could not be other than what I am.
You are a murdering Lachlan's mother. I was a baby.
Lachlan's
you tried
mother
to
too,
kill
huh?
me and then left me for dead with who knows who. Luckily, it happened to be a good man.
And how is it that you wound up in such a state?
Such a state as being almost dead? You, mother.
Okay. She looks at you and she says, you keep using that word, mother. It sounds like sweet honey coming from your lips. And yet, she looks at you as if, well, the inevitable.
Would you rather I used harlot?
Okay. She said, given that I am come from the courts of shadow, it would seem wisdom for you to be careful what words you used.
Okay.
Do you know where you are, child?
No, I have no idea. We're in this field with snake trees and super interesting fruit.
All right. She says, yes, the fruit of indulgence and viper trees. It's quite a collection of different artifacts from across the plains. And my, what austere company you've gathered about you. A hag's bastard, a lesser dragon spawn, and oh, she stops for a minute and stares at Lachlan and says, well, my son, this certainly impresses. Did you know that the bard is a descendant of Queen Ajalaide, which means he is more than the love goddess's priest? He is her literal descendant. Did you know this, child?
Saith what? Oh, yes, mother. I travel with a veritable cavalcade of... Wait, what? What about Lachlan?
Okay. Did you think that he could protect you from me?
I thought no one could protect me from you. I've just been running, trying to gain as much power as I could. But what about Lachlan? He's just sort of an idiot.
His divine blood and his divine bloodline are stronger than yours even, child. Some might even argue that you owe him your fealty, if the tales are to be believed.
I will say this, mother. This group of people that I've surrounded myself with, that the gods have brought together, they've proven to be formidable, and I trust them with my life.
And yet you call upon Naylock to rescue you, child.
There's only so much we can do on our own. It's the nature of a cleric to call upon his god for help.
And so I am here.
Yes. And as nice as this chat has been, I assume you haven't come here just to future threaten me, that you're going to get me later on.
Hey, she
Dread
says...
Pirate Roberts style.
She looks at you and she says, right? Nay, 'tis not the only reason I have come here. But you do know that now that I know why I could not find you, the hunt begins anew.
I don't doubt that, mother. But I've changed, obviously, since you last saw me. And it just may be that you will be fearful of what might be lurking in the shadows around you. I've grown formidable myself. I would be wary.
She smiles at you widely, and she says, such courage, so confident. And then she turns around and kind of just takes a few steps away from you and looks around and kind of looks past the garden to the towers, the ruined leaning towers all around. And she says, "You stand in Shiramanquis, astral realm of the forgotten gods. And it would appear as though the fallen mean to make this their new hell. I see the hand of the god of sin behind all of this. Your enemies are mounting, my son, and they are mighty. But I do not count myself among them this day. What would you have of me?"
I don't know what you're capable of other than, killing babies.
Okay.
How might you help? What can you do? Can you enter the fray with us?
Okay. She looks up at you and she says, "Mine is no meaningless slaughter." She says, "I am the angel of sacrificial death. I am wherever other beings are sacrificed in death." And she says, "It is my nature, and it is my mission. It has great meaning, child. It would be of great meaning if you were to offer yourself up. But another time."
Not today.
All right, she says, "Interference has happened here." And she looks up at Deferzarak, who surprisingly is still frozen, along with everybody else. And she says, I can even out what he has done. If you so choose, I can interfere further. But you understand that would upset the divine balance. If I interfere further beyond undoing what the other fallen has done, that will invite divine retribution from Navariel himself. Who's to say how that will manifest in the future?
I must be careful. I drank this blood a while back, and there were consequences.
You noticed.
But my priority right now is to protect my friends and win the day.
Your priority is greater than that. She says, you must get out of here altogether. And she looks around and she points back to square 28T, all the way at the edge of the garden. 28U, where you see those several lines, and you see a shimmering in the air. And she says, there is your doorway home. She says, it is locked, but I can unlock it for you. And she says, and you would have me cleanse your blood of this taint.
You could do such a thing?
Of course, child. I serve the great brother of the dark. His power is great. And it appears that you have pleased him, else I would not be here.
Oh.
I do find a great irony, though, that he sent me. Have you done something to anger him of late?
See aforementioned blood drinking.
Perhaps taking companionship with a cleric of light?
Oh, yes, and the dragon.
She says, nay, I believe that your association pleases the Brother of Shadows. Oh. Indeed, I believe it is his will that you continue it. Particularly the priestess. And she gestures over, with that bone dagger in her hand, she gestures over to Lavender and she says, the power of her mind is significant. She would be a valuable ally. I suggest in your mission to reform the fellowship that you ensure that she accompanies you. All of them.
Even the tiefling that she hates?
All right, he looks at you and she says, I do not know of what tiefling you speak of. I only know a few rumblings of the gods. and it is their will that this fellowship move forward. You will need allies, my son. You will need allies, particularly when I come for you again.
And Uriel kind of chuckles. Oh, mother, promises, promises.
Okay.
But at any rate, yes, please, if you can cleanse my blood, do so. If there's a way that I can help my friends, that is what I'd like to do.
Okay, she looks at you and she says, I can restore the balance, and I can cleanse your taint. But your problem goes deeper.
Oh.
The taint was made by a pact. What I cleanse will only restore itself in time. You must make further arrangements with he with whom you made the pact.
The Piper.
You will need to gather implements that please him, my son. You will need to make an offering to the Piper in order to speak with him or one of his children. I cannot undo the pact that you have made. I can, however, abate it for a time, if that is what you wish, my son.
Yes, very much. I wish for my self-control back.
All right. So she takes her bone dagger and she gleefully starts walking towards you. And she pulls back like this. And she strikes out with the dagger. And you feel like your soul is being ripped out of your body for a minute. And then a red energy just kind of dissipates behind you and into the air. And she beats her wings and just kind of disperses it until it just deracinates in the air. And dissipates, in the air.
And word.
Yeah, yes, it is. But deracinating, I think, involves the roots of a tree. I got excited. Sorry.
That was a dinosaur.
Okay. And anyway, she also looks around at all of you, and she flies around just in kind of a circle. And as she does, she heals the 15 points of damage of thunder and lightning that you all took.
Sweet.
Yay!
Thanks, Ma.
Your mom's great.
No,
Your mom has awesome snacks, man.
She is the second worst, behind Mrs. Waffle Fries.
Okay. She also looks over and she goes and blows gently, and Mrs. Waterford appears in square I-7.
Oh, yeah.
Solid.
And she says, very well, my son. I have shifted the balance back towards equality. And she says, and I have answered your prayer. Would you have me do more for you and upset the balance?
Yes, but don't tell the ogre.
Okay. Okay. She says, you understand that if I alter events as they proceed now, Navariel will be able to alter events himself in the future.
I have faith in this group, but I just feel like we need every advantage we can get.
All right. She says, very well. And she reaches out and touches your forehead. And from your back sprouts a beautiful pair of ebony feathery angel wings. And you grow slightly back to your normal size.
Oh, we don't have a halfling vampire anymore.
And she tells you, I have empowered the angelic side of your blood. And she looks at you and she says, you will be able to carry yourself on these wings to any place on this battlefield with but a thought. And she looks at you, and are you injured still, Enduriel, at all, or no?
Yeah, I'm about 18 points shy of full health.
Okay. she heals you back to full.
Well, dang, girl.
With that same touch. Okay. And she says, "This is all that I may do for you now. I will not risk upsetting the balance further. You will pay a price for this, my son. But somehow, I suspect that you're not one to think about what the future may hold."
Well, you might be right, Mother.
Okay. All right. She raises her hand up and cups your cheek slightly, and her fingers are icy cold. It's not it's not what you would call a comforting touch. And she says, "Now remember what I've told you, my son. Do not allow the priestess to leave without ensuring her participation in the fellowship. You will need to gather many allies, for this war continues."
You remember what I said, Mother. Watch the shadows.
As we must all, my son.
Oh.
And she pulls her hand down, and she lowers the black shroud, funeral shroud, over her face again, and she flaps her wings in a huge gust that just kind of, almost knocks you back. And then she tackles Teferzarak in the air and restarts time.
Oh.
And when I say she tackles him, I don't mean with just some kind of physical effect. She launches him out across the jungle beyond the garden, and the two of them kind of disappear into the foliage. And that is when time restarts, Anduriel. And you still have a standard action.
Well then,
You just JJ Wadded that guy out of there.
peace out, sucker.
My mom's gonna protect me.
Nobody saw this happen. So, although Lavender, I've decided to rule that you instinctively feel like whenever Anduriel gets in trouble, he just calls his mom.
Such a mommy's boy.
He just shows up out of nowhere with angel wings, which at least they're not bat wings. That would have been a little on the nose.
Okay, Anduriel also has kind of a halo of black energy around his head, and he is sporting these gorgeous ebony feathery wings.
Okay, well, he's going to try these wings out, and he's going to go after Mrs. Waterford.
Okay, you can teleport to any square on the battlefield with a move action.
Snap. All right, I-8.
Okay.
What is this?
Oh, dragon. It's a fine day to be in battle, isn't it? And he flies over there and lands right in front of Mrs. Waterford.
Okay.
And I'm going to use a new little power called Divine Juggernaut.
Oh. Are you using it with the Leviathan's Tooth or with your Kukri?
With Leviathan's Tooth.
Okay, that'll give you that maximum to attack bonus.
Yeah. That's an 8. Oh, I've got my ring. This is the first time I've attacked her.
That's
I'm gonna
true.
roll again. Okay, it's fine.
No stress.
It's versus her, just versus armor class.
Okay.
So it is 23.
That's a hit.
Whew. Okay. So it is 2 weapons plus my bonus plus Leviathan's Tooth damage. 12, 15, 22 points of damage.
Okay. 22 points of damage. First of all, Mrs. Waterford is shocked that you are, like, she was invisible and she knew it. And all of a sudden you for all intents and purposes, you fly so fast it works like a teleport, appear in front of her, and you stab her with a Leviathan's Tooth. Where do you stab her? Left
Yeah,
boob, right
so
boob.
no,
No.
I'm a gentleman. As it is divine juggernaut, he feels like since he's got his angelic blood is being enhanced, you start to see that shimmer, that sort of, it's not a sparkle, sort of that silver shimmer kind of outline, and he just goes barreling towards her, draws the Leviathan's tooth, and right in the back, because he wants to give a shout out to Lavender, right in the back, boom.
Okay.
smashes into the
Cheers. Oh yeah.
All right. Yeah. Woo. All right. Very good, Enduriel. Lots of damage. Now, what else does Divine Juggernaut do?
Allies adjacent get temporary hit points, and then when I use Healing Word or I channel Divinity, the target takes damage, my character modification damage. So
Okay.
+3. Whenever I use something like that, she takes +3 damage.
Oh, she's gonna hate that. You still have a minor action. Do you want to do anything? Oh no, wait. You use your minor action to pray. Sorry. Okay, that's Enduriel. Lachlan, it's your turn, my friend.
Praying isn't a free action. Disgusting.
I know it's no, but crying is a free action. You can
Fair enough.
you can weep freely.
I don't know
Yeah.
what I'm doing.
So
on my
where's
turn.
Enduriel now?
And by the way, when your angel mother shows up, it's a minor action well spent. What's that, Lachlan?
Where's
H8.
where's Enduriel?
8H.
And he is just resplendent.
All right, I want to jump over the stream.
All right, make your check, dude.
That's a 19 plus
That's more than enough.
29.
All right, tell us what square you want to end up in.
So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to jump over into square L8 and then charge her.
The Leviathan's tooth is in effect, so you won't be able
Oh, I can't charge her, huh?
to. Yeah.
Oh, did you activate the magic of the dagger?
I used Leviathan's tooth, yeah.
Okay, so you squished poor Mrs. Waterford into the ground.
Yeah, because I can't use the dagger without activating the power, right? That's what gave me the bonus.
No, you can use the dagger without activating the power. It's a freaking weapon. You can
Okay.
stab someone with a weapon. Are you using it or no?
No, I'm not activating the power on it because I
Okay.
didn't. So
All right, so Lachlan, where are you going to wind up in?
J8,
Okay.
and I just want to gut her.
Enduriel's wings are getting in your way. Just letting you know. They're really big and poofy and glorious, and he's not used to them yet. So, okay, go for it.
Okay, that's a 28 versus AC,
That'll hit anybody for the most at this level.
and I'm going to use. So I hit her. I'm using Mocking Smite, so it's a free action when I hit. So I hit her. I hit her with my sword,
Mm-hmm.
and then because I assume that I was frozen too, but I can see that Enduriel's just received some sort of major buff upness, and so he just is grinning at her, and he's like, "You are so dead." Like, it's not much of an insult, but it's just more of this, like, it's like when Thor shows up on the battlefield of Infinity Wars, you know.
Uh-huh.
Oh, man.
He thinks it's just like, oh, it's time. So
This is bad for you, just in case you were wondering. Okay, how much damage did you do?
So she is going to take 14 points of radiant damage, and then 7 points of psychic and radiant damage from Mocking Smite, and I'm invisible to her.
All right. Mrs. Waterford is bleeding profusely from multiple wounds, and she looks like she's about to faint, and it's getting ugly. That is the Lachlan's turn. Okay, Dr. Fields.
Actually, Matt, I want to use my action point.
Oh, really?
If she's looking faint, I'm yeah. So I'm invisible to her, and so she can't see this, but I just look down, and the marionette strings come out, and I'm just going to make her do a little jig, and jig her way into square. Let's go H7.
H7.
This is against her will, which that's a 22, 24
Okay.
with combat advantage. So she's
All
gonna
right.
she's gonna take 11 points of damage, and Duriel gets a melee basic attack with a +3 bonus.
Okay.
He's gonna give that old Viking laugh, like, "Oh yes, Bard, yes." And he's gonna roll it up. That is a 19 without any bonuses, so I'm sure it hits. All right, melee basic is just a weapon attack. So that is 10 points of damage.
Okay. Lachlan, you cast your spell and start making those puppeteer motions, and Mrs. Waterford's eyes fill with panic, and she panics because she knows this is the end and there's nothing she can do. And there really isn't. I mean, look, if you look at her character sheet, she doesn't have any interrupts. So she looks at you, Lachlan, and you sense that you've got her under your power. So you flick a motion, and one of her arms snaps and breaks. And she's like, "Oh! Oh!" And you make another one, and she kind of just turns over, and she staggers towards Anduriel, who I picture as fangs maybe lengthening, and his eyes crackling with angelic power. And Anduriel, you plunge the dagger right into her beating heart. And she goes, "No, I swore, the pact, certain."
Should get a good deal on that one.
Ask for your money back.
Hope you kept the receipt.
I don't think you get your soul back.
And she slumps to the ground in a pile of blue fancy skirts and blood and remorse.
And Duriel's gonna turn to Lachlan and be like, "Well, Lachlan, it seems you have some material for your next song."
Okay. All right, that would be Lachlan's turn. Dr. Fields sees Mrs. Waterford collapse.
His little sheep jaw goes.
And he lets out a savage and bestial scream. And then he transforms himself into a hawk. And he flies 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 squares into 20 T. Obviously, with the intent of running away. And that is what he does. And now it is Mrs. Oh, never mind. She's really
but is it?
Dead. Okay, Lavender, it's your turn, my dear.
Okay, alright, this is great. One's flying away. Then I've got the Vistani girl near me. So, Divine Challenge on her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I am gonna take oh no, Divine Challenge is a minor action. Never mind.
Yep. You still got a standard and a move. You can get her. You can get her with anything.
I know, but see what I'm thinking of. Instead of joining the Divine Challenge, I will take Flask of the Dragon's Breath. Because that seems fun.
Oh, mean.
Cool name, if nothing else.
It's really cool. And then, yeah, do a hit on her with the Greatsword. Because that seems like fun.
All right.
Let's hope this works. That's an 18.
Okay.
So
that hits.
Sure, I hit. Yeah.
What
So
square are you in now?
currently I am in 15H.
Oh, okay.
But I presume I can, use my move action close to her. So that is 1d10 plus 5 for the first one, and then I add the blade damage, which seems like a good thing to do.
So what you're using the flask, and what else are you doing?
The greatsword attack.
Gotcha. Are you using a power, or are you just making a melee? Which one are you doing?
Oh, that's the point. Sorry.
Yeah. No, that's fine. If you want to use your greatsword, I think you still have your daily Paladin's Judgment. Then you could roll triple damage. You want to do that?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Thank
You hit her. So now you get to roll 6 dice 6.
you. Okay.
It's
That's
a
a lot.
daily. It's a daily attack. It does triple your normal weapon damage.
So 2 plus 3 plus 1 plus 4 plus 5. 16 plus 4. Okay, so 19. Yes. Plus 5.
24.
And then we're adding on the fire damage. So that is
1 dice 6.
yes, plus constitution.
Which yours is a 1. So 1 dice 6 plus 1.
So plus 3 in total.
Okay. Oh, she loves you.
I did a hit.
You did a lot of hits.
Where is she in? Because I had her in J18.
Yeah.
Lavender.
No, the Vistani lady.
Vistani girl.
Yeah, she's in J18. So Lavender, you're moving into square J17, I assume?
Yeah. Sorry,
Okay.
I should have said that first.
All right,
Move up first.
Lavender, you cut her up one side and down the middle with Paladin's Judgment. Do you say anything as you strike her down?
No. She's a silent warrior. She's got that look in her eyes. It's just like, you've done the wrong thing.
Okay. You know you were bad. All right. She is going to try to save her life and use her empathic foresight power. Lavender, what is your will?
It is 18.
18. Oh, she rolled a 3.
Doesn't make it.
So she sees you coming and she tries to use her Vistani power to see into the future and force like a fortune reroll. But she's panicking because you're coming at her and you come charging at her with Paladin Judgment. And where do you strike her? Do you stab, lop off her head? How do you strike her? How do you finish her off?
Yeah, I think like straight from the top across. Just like...
Okay. So you take your greatsword, bring it around, and woof, and off goes her beautiful raven tressed head and rolls across
She
the
was
field.
pretty.
She was pretty. Okay.
Sorry.
And that is really ugly for her. Gizik, it's your turn, my friend. How are you feeling now with your 15 hit points back?
I have 13 hit points now.
Yeah.
So definitely feel better.
You gonna use healing word on yourself, Gizik?
I don't have healing word.
That's
I don't have anything like that.
Spelunky Dog in chat goes, ugh, paladins are always so judgy. Because you used Paladin's Judgment. Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
that's what I do, okay, guys?
Yeah, he also says empathic foresight seemed like a thing that would have been useful before the Great Sword showed up. Hey, she tried to look into the future to interrupt the action. She got scared, okay? She was looking at her cards going, it was just...
Because Lavender was just like staring at her, Just got
Yeah.
that.
It was just... It was blue
Like
steel.
that magic 8-ball. Uncertain. Well, I have to...
Try again later. No.
Yeah, welcome to chat, Spelunky Dog. It's good to see you. Okay, Gizik, what are you doing, bud?
So who do we have left on the field? Just Epistovus?
Well, Dr. Fields...
And Dr. Field is flying away.
Yeah, well, he's trying. He has no... I mean, would you stick around?
I don't mind leaving him here. Alright, I'm going to move and then charge Epistovus.
Okay. All right. What square do you want to end up in?
J20.
All right. Get him.
Yeah, I rolled a 1.
And Duriel, I think you need to give your ring to Gizik.
It has come in handy, and yeah, at me.
Yeah. Or someone needs to make him a new one. Maybe that's something you want to spend money on. Maybe you could ask the Night Lord for one of those. So Gizik, you go lumbering towards Epistovus, and you're like, ah, and then you're like Hulk smash, and you like pound into the floor. And Lachlan's probably like, hit him, Gizik, hit him. Oh, like So you
There's
swing
some nice
wildly.
dents in that ground, though.
Yeah,
Yes.
there are. Oh, there's some mean dents in the ground.
Shrapnel.
Right. Morocon, it's your turn, my friend.
Okay, well, I'm going to use my move action and a little bit more to get up to him.
To Epistovus?
Yes.
Tell me what square you want to be in.
So I'm going to move into J22.
Okay.
And melee
Right next
basic,
to the little
right?
tree.
All right, Morocon, as you move next to the beautiful tree with the fruit.
Oh, crap. I forgot about the tree.
Silver fruit just starts to look
no.
really good to you. What's your will, Morocon?
19.
Okay, it doesn't even come close to piercing your consciousness.
Oh,
you
good.
notice, but you're like, I'm not some weak vampire. Like, I hate fruit.
That fruit looks good, but this guy looks better.
So just melee basic?
Yep, if you're charging.
Yeah. So it is a 16. I am not rolling well tonight.
16. Unfortunately, he doesn't have great defenses. He's got a 16 AC. You hit.
Oh, good.
Nice.
How about that? For 9 points of damage.
All right.
I would also like to use my action point, if I may.
You may.
All right.
Oh, poor Epistovus. He just got this body.
Amina, guide my fist that it might strike true.
My holy symbol starts to burn on my chest. My fist starts to glow as I cast Avenging Flame.
Ooh.
Right? Hadouken style.
Oh, poor Epistovus. Okay, get him.
With a... Oh, it's a bad roll. Oh my gosh, I have foretelling.
What's that?
I'm going to use foretelling.
What is it?
That's... I could swap out my roll for...
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You forgot that you can look into the future.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to swap that out. So that sucker's going to hit. How about a 28?
Ow. So is that damage or you hit?
No, that's 28 against AC.
Yeah, roll your damage, dude. 28 hits everybody.
For 14 points of damage. He gets ongoing fire damage 5, and if he attacks on his turn, he won't be able to make a saving throw.
Okay, how much did you say?
So total is going to be
14.
14, yes. So
Did you add Fist of Fury or
Stone Fist?
Yeah.
Oh, Fighting Fury. No, I didn't. I forgot. So 17.
Did you add it both times to the melee also? The melee basic?
Yeah, that one I did.
Okay, so 17 points of damage. Did you also add your damage bonus? Your
Yeah,
cleric?
that's what. Yeah, that's everything.
All right, just double checking because we don't want to hose you here. Okay, you pound into him, and he also takes ongoing fire damage 5.
Not great.
So Morocon explodes in a burst of fire and light, and uppercuts poor Epistovus' new body, and you slam into his chin, and bones crack, and it's ugly. He holds his jaw, just in agony, and gets a panicked look in his eyes.
Lavender, that was amazing, but save some for me.
Okay, now it is Fiddlesticks' turn. Poor Bindlesticks. Well, he failed that first save, so he takes another 5 points of ongoing damage.
And he's blind.
He's blinded. He can't see what he's doing. He already used invisibility. my gosh.
Please fail the second one and be unconscious.
Oh, he is going to use one with the current and teleport. No, he can't do that. One doesn't want to teleport into the river Styx.
Good.
Just saying it's an option.
Okay. Bindle Styx is going to stumble backwards into the jungle. He's going to take the full defense action because he's blinded and hating life, and he'll take one move back into the jungle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares off the map. At which point, Anduriel's shadow chokes him into unconsciousness, and you watch him fall onto the jungle floor, with Anduriel's shadow choking the life out of him as he drops.
Yes.
Good boy. Good boy.
Which is really bad. And then, of course, Anduriel, your shadow vanishes. No, he's still taking ongoing shadow damage 5. No, he falls unconscious. Sorry, that's the third effect. Because otherwise, if he took the ongoing damage, he'd wake up. Okay, and that is Bindle Six's turn. Epistovus' turn. Oh, jeez, he's got a Gizik and a Morocon on him. He's gonna shift. Oh my gosh.
He may take the river Styx as an option to Gizik, Morocon, and Lavender. Probably. I'll take my chances in the river.
I'm friendly.
Okay. Well, I mean, this is horrible.
What now? Come
Lavender, Gizik, and Morocon are all like looming over him. Yeah, I think he's gonna shift back and jump into the river.
So Leroy Jenkins it. Woo!
Okay, the river is not tall, but he lets it carry him down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares.
So
he is in square 27-0. For now, anyway. He forgets his powers, but it was either that or going to melee with the 3 of you hammers. So that would be a no. All right. That would be Bindle Styx's turn, Epistovus' turn. Anduriel, it's your turn again, my friend.
Okay.
Remember, you can teleport anywhere on the battlefield with a move action.
Stop the druid.
Well, yeah, I think I'm going to actually fly over to Dr. Field?
Dr. Fields?
Fields.
Okay.
So you 20.
Okay. Dr. Fields is actually 5 squares up in the air, but you have wings, so you are 2 now.
This has to come back to bite me at some point because it's not too shabby.
You're gonna bite the bird.
Yeah, but I mean, Anduriel doing something he's gonna have to pay for later. Par for the course, right?
Yeah, that's not in character at all.
All right, I'm going to do Weapon of Divine Protection, and I'm going to use the Leviathan's Tooth and actually activate it.
Oh, poor Dr. Fields. Okay.
So this is versus armor class. That is a 20. Dirty 20.
That is a hit.
And damage would be... That is 11 points plus my Leviathan's Tooth.
Spelunky Dog goes, so he stopped. Hammer time.
So that is 18 points of damage.
Oh, ow. And it's worse than that because you have tossed him in. Roll 2d10 and add that.
Oh, okay.
He's falling.
That is true. 10.
All right.
So Anduriel sees the doctor trying to fly away, and he zooms over there and just sort of gets in front of him. Oh, doctor, not today. He pulls out the Leviathan's Tooth, swings it around, bam! And it just goes, the knife goes all the way down to the ground and pins the doctor underneath it.
Okay, the sound of the Leviathan's Tooth, the bestial roar that accompanies the magic, echoes, and he is slammed into the ground, and you hear bone crack as he hits it. And poor Dr. Fields is moving, but not much.
How high up was he?
He was 5 squares up, so he took 2d10 extra damage.
Can we double that because of the Leviathan's, because of the tooth? Leviathan's tooth?
I actually added 10 points of damage because of the force of the tooth.
Awesome.
Had he been falling from a greater height, I probably would have done more. He doesn't look like Dr. Field can take too many more hits like that. Lavender, it's your turn, sister.
Okay, I have 2 spheres and force left.
Yep.
So I figure I should probably use them.
You can if you would like.
Yeah, so within range for a fist fits. Right?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna hit him.
Okay.
Please.
Lavender, you will need to move because there's a tree in the way, but you can easily move. So if you moved into square, say 15K.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you can get him once you have line of sight.
Thank you. So I move first, obviously.
Okay.
It's helpful.
Hit him.
And then I do a hit. So that's a 13 naturally.
Okay.
So then that hits.
Yes, it does. Unfortunately, he is prone, so you have combat advantage. That hits.
Cool. 1d6 plus 5. That's a 2 plus 5. So 7.
7 points of damage.
That's a lot. I know.
It's okay. That's just.
And can I spend an action point and do it again? Is that how that works?
Absolutely can spend your action point to do that again.
Thank you. I would like to.
I want to try that again. So
Please.
That was lots of fun.
Right.
That's a natural 1.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
Never mind.
Okay. So you launch one of them, and it explodes into him. So she's kind of just taking pot shots at him from the river. It's probably a little disconcerting as she gathers these force orbs, and it's like, oh, boom! She blows up a rock next to him. It's just kind of generally unpleasant. But Epistovus is like barely moving in the water. He's like swimming, but he's trying to get down the river, but he's really not moving very well. Okay, Gizik, it's your turn, my friend.
Epistovus is still in the water, right? Oh,
yeah,
27?
he's still in the water. Yep.
I think you might have skipped me.
I might have because I didn't like you. I just decided. I think I did skip you. And it's I'm bald prejudice. I don't know what to,
bald prejudice.
What can I say? It's a rough crowd. That's
these trees are too close together.
Well, maybe Lachlan, let's take your turn first since we skipped you, and then we'll come back to Gizik. Maybe you'll change something.
Okay, so who's left?
Well, you have Bindlesticks sleeping 5 squares off the map, up north into the jungle.
Sleeping or dead?
No, he's sleeping, and Duriel's shadow choked him into unconsciousness.
Oh, well, I'm good with that.
Okay, and Epistovus is down the river in square 27N.
And Dr. Fields is 20T, but he's in the Leviathan's tooth range, so
he's pinned into the ground. So you have 3 targets available to you, and none of them are
20T.
Who are you talking about, Dr.
Fields?
Yeah, he's in 20T, pinned into the floor by the Leviathan's tooth. Remember how he flew away on his turn, thinking, "Oh no, Mrs. Waterford died. I best try to escape." Oh, boom, ground.
Yeah, they're just nobody close to me.
Well, that was their idea by the running.
Okay, well, but Anduriel's on Fields.
Very much so.
Yeah. I think I'm going to use... Let me get a little closer. I'm going to have to make another athletics check and jump the river again. Okay. Well, that's a 23.
It'll be a glorious jump.
Well, let's see what he rolls.
23.
Oh. Well, there goes the suspense of that moment.
As he gracefully prances across the river.
And then what square is Anduriel in?
U20.
Yep. And Uriel is still hovering in the air 5 squares, though.
Well, drat.
I think.
Why don't you just run between the apple trees and take your luck?
Yeah, I don't.
You don't want to chance it?
You can maybe run up and save Wendell.
Wendell, who is up in the tree at this point.
How many has he eaten?
What? Well,
he's just like fistfuls of fruit, right? Just
nobody has stopped
chow
since
down.
that one perception check to see what happened to him.
The Heimlich maneuver is a minor action, so.
Okay. I guess I'm just gonna staggering note him. There's not anybody I can give an attack to, but I still want to just slam him.
Whom were you wanting to do this to?
Dr. Fields.
Okay, what square are you in?
I'm in square P12.
All right.
What's his will?
Okay, Dr. Fields' will is not bad. One moment. His will is 18, I believe. I'm looking at this correctly. I'm sorry. I set Lavender's character sheet on top of him. Yeah, his will is 18.
If he's prone and restrained, does that affect?
He is prone and restrained.
Okay. Well, the restrained gives me combat advantage, but the prone, because it's a range attack, gives me -2. So
it evens out.
It evens out, and I got a 16. So
okay.
So I slam my sword on the ground and put it at him, but he shrugs it off.
Unfortunately, the Leviathan's tooth is probably blocking that effect as he is squished into the ground. Okay, that is Lachlan's turn. Gizik, it is now your actual turn. For reals this time, Gizik. For reals.
Oh, wait.
I'm gonna... Yes. All right. I thought so. I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna walk down past this tree down to Epistivus.
Okay.
Or I'm gonna try to walk past the tree.
Okay. Nope, it missed you. I rolled a 5. So you look at the shiny trees, but you're like, don't look at the fruit, don't look at the fruit, don't look at the fruit. Like,
well, I saw Anduriel already look at the fruit, so. Alright, so I'll go down to 26M and just try and two-handed spear Epistivus through both sides of the chest at once.
Nobody gets away.
Hag's Hunger.
Get him.
And, rip out a chunk as I do this. All right, so that's a 16 and a 26.
Hit and a hit.
Ooh.
No way.
Very much so. Let's have some damage, Jeffrey.
Do it. I mean, or
right.
Come on, everybody's doing it, Jeffrey.
8. $31.
Oh.
This is a really, really good power when I hit with both attacks and have the Fist of Stone up.
So he's doing it.
Bro.
Yeah.
So that should be enough to finish him off, right?
Yeah, and then some, actually. So more than 30.
And
so
the remaining pieces of Epistivus can continue floating on down the river Styx.
Poor desperate Epistivus leaps into the river Styx tributary in order to get away. And Gizik plucks him up out of the river and shreds him to pieces and sprinkles him back into the river. Okay. And as Gizik says, pieces of Epistivus go floating in all directions. And you are also covered in pieces of Epistivus. Yeah.
Nothing little prestidigitation can't fix.
Yeah. Ew.
Just
Gross.
so.
Okay. That's very good. All right.
It's kind of like shaking, all the pieces will go.
Morocon.
Well, and then there were one. Well, and a half. Bindlesticks is somewhere. Okay, well. How close can I get to Dr. Fields before I smash into the wall from the Leviathan's Tooth?
You can get within 3 squares of him. The Leviathan's Tooth is a 3-square burst. Okay. So you can get 3 squares away. The closest you can get is 22p.
All right, well, guess I'm jumping the river.
All right, make an athletics check, please, my friend.
Right. Oh, there. Yeah, of course I roll a natural 20 with that one.
Okay.
When I can't really do anything.
All right. It's a beautiful leap across the...
This looks amazing. This big, giant, golden dragon just magnificently just takes a quick step, jumps, does a flip, and lands Iron Man style on the other side of the river.
Okay, you land in 22p where you can get to it. Now what?
Well, I can't really get to him, so I'm going to have to wait for the Leviathan's Tooth to deactivate.
Okay. All right, do you want to do anything with your standard or your minor?
I am going to...
Take a distance power next time.
Yeah, no, not that it would work. The Leviathan's Tooth would block everything. I think for the meantime, I'm going to channel Divinity.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. Sparkle.
All right. So I put my hand on my chest on my holy symbol. It starts to burn. I mumble something. I mumble a prayer in Draconic, and then I burst into sunlight.
Okay. Very good. You burst into sunlight. Absolutely lovely. And now it would be Bindlesticks' turn. All right, this is what happens. From out in the jungle, you hear a savage, bestial roar, and you hear Bindlesticks screaming.
Time to go.
Sound good?
And and you see shapes moving in the jungle, but that's pretty much all you see, and you hear Bindlesticks just screaming in terror and agony.
Doesn't sound like we want to follow him.
Well, you could go into the jungle in the strange plane that once was occupied by the Forgotten Gods. That's an option, that a fallen angel is trying to turn into a new hell. You could do that.
I'm not Enduriel. I'll go somewhere else.
Okay. Okay.
We should stay, guys. We should have a
All
picnic.
All right.
Let's go camping.
They're so
Anduriel,
fine in this battle. It'll be easy.
it's your turn, Anduriel.
Okay, he's gonna give a shout out to Morocon for how awesome that was. Morocon, what a great leap! Oh my goodness! And that light, we are the perfect balance of light and darkness, are we not? And then he's gonna attack Dr. Fields with Swarm of Shadows.
Sweet wings, bro.
Rock on, man. Okay.
That is a 19 versus Fortitude.
That'll do it. Yeah.
Okay. I was hopeful.
Yeah. That'll do. That'll do, pig.
That is 19 points of damage. And ongoing damage 5. So,
Okay.
Anduriel, shouts out to Morocon, and then he kind of disappears into this shadow and descends down upon the doctor. The shadow goes down, and then you just hear Dr. Fields screaming and screaming and screaming as bits and pieces of him fly everywhere within the shadow, and then it dissipates, and Anduriel's invisible to him. No, I'm invisible generally.
Everybody's invisible to him because that killed him.
Oh, okay.
So, all right.
Well, then maybe I'm not invisible.
So pieces of him go absolutely everywhere, and that is the end of the faith of man. So very nicely done.
So then I'll call out to everybody, Morocon, Gizik, Lachlan, Lavender. We need to get through that portal right away.
What portal?
He kind of points the way. Do they see the shimmer?
Oh yeah, it's once it's pointed out, it's quite easily visible.
Follow me. That's our way back. And go.
Wait, do we have... There's more than just us.
Oh, crap. Pemble Wimbledon. Hold on.
Pemby Pants?
Yeah.
I'll go get Pemby Pants. You guys...
Okay, Anduriel, you teleport over to the tree where Wendell was staring up into the tree, and you see that he is not only in the tree, he has been absorbed into the tree.
Oh, dear.
And he is staring at the fruit, and he's got 2 pieces of fruit in his hand, and he's going, I've bought beautiful fruit to bring home, Mother. You're gonna love it. It's so shiny. And then he just sinks deeper into the tree. It's almost like he's melding into the tree.
Can I do a check to see if there's anything I could do to get him out of the tree?
Sure. Let's see. Let's have you make a knowledge nature check.
That is an 18 plus half my level, 19, 20.
Plus your wisdom modifier if you have.
I don't
nature.
have a wisdom
Okay.
modifier.
You think that this tree is pretty natural. You think you could rip the bark away and possibly free him if you could do enough damage to the tree. However, because you've teleported next to the tree, Anduriel, you just cannot help but climb into those branches and grab a piece of fruit.
Lavender sees this just like, I mean, it's after battle now, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay. Poor Anduriel is just... You see Anduriel fly over next to the tree and go, ooh. And he starts reaching up and plucking fruit off the trees.
Is there anything I can do about that? There's not. I don't think there
There's
is.
nothing you could do about it, but Lavender might be able to help you.
Can I?
Yeah. Do you want to try to restore vitality on him again now that we're out of the fight?
Oh, yeah. No, yes. All right, sure. I'll head over.
Do you want to use any kind of telepathy and try to kind of like shake him out of it, or what does this look like? Because you can.
He just starts laughing for like 30 seconds. Really?
Our precious.
And she's like, hang on. You're laughing a little bit at you. She's like, all right, just you don't need the fruit. It's not that great. Get away from the tree and cast Restore Vitality.
Okay. You hear Lavender's voice in your head going, hey, you don't need the fruit. It's not that great. You can get
There's a lot of sugar in fruit.
You can get fresh produce at the farmer's market.
No protein.
They're natural sugars.
Not even any blood.
Anduriel hears a muffled shout from the distance. Hey, vampire! It's fruit!
Okay, Anduriel, you come to once Lavender's telepathy enters your mind, and she kind of like psionically shakes you out of it, and you realize you're holding 2 pieces of fruit, watching Wendell sink further into the tree.
For the love of Shadow, I can't wait to get out of here.
I have send thoughts, so I could be like, to what? Why'd you keep going back to the tree?
I had to get Pemby Pants.
Pants in the have pants.
Trust me.
He doesn't know who Wendell Pembleton is.
Trust me. We have to bring this person back. We can't leave him here. This will bite us in the butt. later on.
Lavender, you can see that one of the just blades, one of the peacekeeping force of Winterrun, is sinking into the tree.
Okay.
He's
That's
the future
what I
of the Just Blades.
Maybe we should leave him. No. So I'm gonna do a check to see if I can get him out of the tree. Is this just a strength check?
Make an attack, my friend. You've got to damage the tree enough to get him out.
Weapon of divine protection. Yes.
Okay.
That is a... Oh, crap. That's an 8.
Okay.
But does my ring work on this, too, since it's my first attack on the tree?
Not so much. No. the tree is not deceived by a phantasmal Endurio. Your knob self just goes... Tong, like.
Then I will use Memory of 1,000 Lifetimes.
Okay.
And add 1d6. Ooh, so that's 6, so that's 13 plus my weapon attack bonus, which is 10, so that is 23.
Okay. So that's more than enough. Go ahead and roll damage.
Oh, to be defeated by a tree after all that would have just...
Because you ate all that fruit, man.
I would never have heard the end of it from the dragon. Roll the damage. So that is 7, 13, 14 points of damage.
Okay, you free his upper torso. You're going to have to do more damage to strike down into the legs. Lavender, do you want to help? What about the rest of you? Are you still running through the portal?
I'll come over and help.
All right, what are you going to do to
With the
damage the
greatsword.
tree? Okay, the
I got a
greatsword?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. I'm a fan.
Okay,
That's
Lavender.
a natural 20.
Well, that's beautiful, Lavender, but you're standing next to the tree now.
Oh, snizzle.
And unfortunately, Lavender, that fruit that you were telling him looks so great.
Does it?
It really does look great to you.
It is natural sugars, you know.
That's a fair point.
But I do have a thingy-majig, an orb, amulet.
You do.
Yeah.
You managed to shake it off, Lavender. You don't because you're carrying an orb. So you feel like the fruit is shiny and your amulet pulses and goes, nope, you don't want the fruit either. Take your own advice. Like, all right.
Like, see, I don't need to grab the fruit every time.
Did you roll a natural 20?
Yeah, I did.
Back it up.
Okay.
Roll again to confirm the crit.
That's a 12. So no.
That's a confirm. Roll the 1d6.
Oh, okay.
Get a 6 and kill the tree.
Just not Wendell.
It's a natural 1 on the 6.
Okay. Well, you still are going to do 10 points of damage. So, Lavender, you take your sword and you cleave a big old gash and free Sir Wendell Pembleton's legs. And he goes kind of like tumbling out of the tree and falls down and takes...
can I try and catch him? Or?
You can try to catch him. Make an athletics check.
Okay. 18.
At least a 17 to hit his AC.
Oh, well, I rolled an 18. So.
Okay, you got him. All right. So he falls out and you catch him and he kind of just shakes his head and he looks back and goes, but the fruit! And he reaches up for the fruit like this. It would really behoove you guys to get away. And Duriel, it seems like a good time to teleport.
Yep. I'm going to grab... Can I teleport Lavender and Wimbledon with me?
You can teleport one person that you are carrying with you, but not both of them.
I will give Pembleton to you. I'm pretty sure I'm fine with the fruit.
Okay.
Yeah, we need a member of the fuzz to get out here.
All right, so long and short of the story, the rest of you managed to get through the little aperture, the little shimmer in the air, which is the place where the mirror entered, and you all make it through safely. Shortly thereafter, and slightly embarrassed looking Anduriel comes stumbling through behind Lavender, who's going, you don't need any more fruit. You're good. And
Just
Duriel,
got like the food pyramid drawn casually.
They're natural sugars. They're natural.
Poinketh is going to have so much fun with this.
But you're a vampire.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So you come through, and Anduriel, as you step through the mirror and enter the prime material plane again, you feel the angelic power that was coursing through you just kind of I don't know, it's kind of like ripped out of you as you pass through the planes, and it's left behind in the plane. Who knows what happens to it, but you leave it behind as you enter, and it is draining. You are exhausted. You are in a weakened state right now. You're able to stand, but you're feeling really weak. However, your bloodthirst is slightly abated because of what Nashkashara did to you. Nathkashara, excuse me. So you're in some ways you're feeling a little bit better. The whole area is it's a disaster from what the vortex did, and the embassy is strangely silent. It's just you in this entry hall with all these shattered chairs and the mirror showing the image of the Towers of Supremacy.
Is it just Endurial?
No, all of you are through. You came through before he did.
Okay. Is there any way we can destroy this thing?
Yeah.
I'm going to walk up and try to hit it.
Go for it.
No, hold, dragon.
You walk right back through.
Hold, Gizik. Take a look before Morokhan uses his strength. We need your wisdom. We need your wisdom to determine if we can break this mirror safely.
I will do my best to examine the mirror, see what kind of magic, see if I can learn anything new about these mirrors.
Assist with that?
You are also trained in Arcana, are you not, Lavender?
Yeah. So can
Yes.
I?
If you're trained, you can make a check.
Okay, cool. Nope.
What'd you get?
A 2.
Okay, Lavender,
It's
you
a
are.
beautiful mirror.
Yeah, it's
Looks
so
like
pretty.
fruit.
It might be magic.
Lavender, you think that if you can pronounce some of the words on the side, it will do your hair for you.
Oh.
So,
I mean,
I'm trained in
it's
Arcana.
been a battle. I want to look good.
Do
Go
it,
for it.
Lachlan, do it.
And then
I got a 21.
I rolled a 16.
all right. So, Gizik, you remember that we destroyed one of these mirrors before. So you are reasonably sure that if you just break the glass, that it's going to nullify this as a portal.
Did we destroy it? I thought we turned it towards the wall and covered it and walked away, and then it kind of broke on its own and attacked us.
You have broken one of these. You broke the mirror in Sir Mortimer's chamber. So you know that you can break. All you have to do to break the mirror is break the glass.
I punched the glass.
Okay.
And then I let the stone dissipate off my hands.
Okay. So Gizik, you slam and shatter glass, and the mirror falls. You know, the glass falls out of the mirror, and as you shatter it, the image of the Towers of Supremacy, the realm of the fallen archangel Navariel, dissipates, and you're left only with reflection. And it's your reflection, so you can look however you want to.
And who knows how many people from Winter Run were on the other side of that glass.
None that you saw. The only one that you saw that was stuck in there that didn't wind maybe find a way out or whatnot was Peppy Pants. So
All right, well, hopefully all these people in the room ran away instead of, going through the mirror.
yeah. Well, hopefully something like that happened, but you didn't see any of them left in there that were in the room. So
Morokhan sees Gizik walk up and smash the mirror, and I'm just like, I could have done that. I was just about to do that.
Lavender, you're kind of upset because this thing could have been doing your hair for the rest of your life.
I know. I like to imagine that my face was like close to the mirror as he punched it, trying to read the runes that did my hair, and I'm like, really?
Bro.
So now who's gonna do my hair? Lachlan, I can.
I don't know what kind of cleric you've been hanging around with, but some of us like to do our hair.
Okay.
Well, I do know what kind of cleric you've been hanging around with. Hang on.
If you did before, you do now.
Very good point. Okay.
Polish my scales.
So, silence just kind of settles in the room. You guys are pretty exhausted and somewhat still traumatized by the experience that you've had and where you just were, and understanding what exactly is on the other side of these mirrors. and knowing that somehow Navariel, the fallen Archangel of Pride, is able to use these mirrors to breach into his new hell that he is trying to create. So you've got some startling new information in regards to where he and perhaps even the other fallen are trying to set up shop, so to speak. And silence kind of descends upon you, and you are left to determine your next course of action. What would that be?
Anduria will just suggest, first of all, he'll thank everybody. Thank you all for your help today. Lavender, we are reforming the Coalition of Faiths. We would love to have you be a part of it. You are formidable. You are wise. And if you ever need our help, you can call on us at any time. Gentlemen, lady, let's go tell the people they are free from the faith of man.
Okay, Lavender, as Anduriel speaks, you notice that as he invites you to join the Divine Fellowship, that the light seems to bend unnaturally and gather kind of around his head slightly. I would like you to make a knowledge religion check.
Okay.
Better not be fruit.
13.
Okay. Even a novice, did you roll a 13 or total?
I rolled a 13. So I was
All right, so that's into the 20s.
plus 11. So
all right.
23. Yeah.
So
24.
you can take this as a sign that Vahara is interested, or that she is showing a sign of her favor. Whenever light scatters unnaturally, it's a sunlight particularly, it's a symbol that Vahara is trying to guide you, or is showing favor. So she sends that message to you, or someone does, as Anduriel speaks about joining the coalition.
Lavender sees the message, looks a little bit irritated. She's like under breath. She's like, "An alien sent me here. Damn it!" And she's like, "Yeah, it's fine."
It's fine. It's fine.
Vahara, are you sure?
Yeah. Vahara, are you sure? Okay.
I would like a re-roll on that decision.
Anduriel knows the feels.
Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. So that would be the end of season 1, ladies and gentlemen, of Holy Rollerz D&D. So congratulations, 31 episodes in the can. For those of you who have watched all the way to the end with us, we thank you for watching season 1. We absolutely are planning on doing season 2, which we will start up possibly in August or another time in the fall. And depending on several things, it may be moving on to a prominent network. So we shall see how that deal ends up moving forward or not. We are really excited, and we thank you for having come with us with the Divine Fellowship's adventures. I have Consider This for the last episode, which is kind of nice that I get to finish it because I started the first one. So our final Consider This for the evening is about the idea of black and white. So people are complicated. And I think that it is very tempting, because of the society that we live in, to often think in terms of black and white, in terms of people. We often, I think in our brains, I know I do this, we kind of move people into categories in our brain. These people are worth our time, these people are not worth our time, or whatnot. I find that most people and most things have more shades than just black and white. There's a lot in the gray area. And I think that sometimes what is in the gray area is the place that we need to go to find our tolerance of people, and to find really the nuances of who they are. It's easy to dismiss people as good, but I think about the way that I would like to be thought about, or the way I would like to be judged. And I don't think I'm made up of all good or all bad. I'm made up of a lot of different traits. And I don't think that God looks at us that way either. And so that's kind of our Consider This for this evening is when you look at your fellow man, or at least when we look at our fellow man, remember that person who cut you off on the freeway is somebody's daughter, and that they're of infinite worth, and that they are deserving of our time. And people are complicated, but I think that there's grace in the gray area. I think that it's important to give people a chance to forgive people and just recognize that there are shades of gray in everybody. And if we look a little deeper, sometimes we can see the goodness in people. So that's my thought. And anybody else have anything to add?
Seconded. Great job.
Word.
Mhm.
Okay.
In the
Awesome.
immortal words of Michael Jackson, if you're thinking of being my brother, it don't matter if you're black or white.
Beautiful. And we'll end season 1 quoting Michael Jackson. Thank you, Ben. Okay. Anybody else? Any other thoughts?
Didn't we also quote him in episode like 1 or 2?
The Man in the Mirror? Yeah. That was you,
Oh, it's a
Jeffrey.
full circle.
Yeah.
Somebody say
Okay.
Shamon at some point. Shamon.
Yeah.
Thank you
Beautiful.
guys so much for playing with me. It's been really fun to.
We are honored to have you here with us. It has been a blast.
You've been so great.
Thanks, Lulu.
Yep.
It's been
All right.
fun.
Thank you.
Beautiful. So thank you to our guest star. Thank you for joining us, Lulu. And to everybody else, we say to you, there are more of us geeks than there are of them now. We're everywhere. Have a good night. Goodbye.
Good night.
See ya.